Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks real talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, you straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. The entourage be on the job, my energy. See me tripping in tempo as they cook my game plan. And my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we afraid the fan base, hit the link, Anthony Mace. We drink the logo when there's airspace that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's any dashes on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like Star Divine to Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Yeah, it's good. What's good? What's good, everybody? What's good, man? We in the building. Shy Divine, Knicks Real Talk, man. The Knicks Real Talk trade machine episode tonight. We're going to get into all that on the trade machine, break down a lot of trading scenarios. That's what it's all about tonight. Pretty much just the trading scenarios, man. Me and Shy Powers is our own thoughts and other stuff we might see out there, but they are hypotheticals and all that good stuff. We're going to get into it tonight, though. There's a lot of good stuff that they can make Knicks even better than they are this year. If a couple of things happen or maybe not, they stand pat. We don't know Shy Powers, but first and foremost, let me bring my brother in the building. Shy Powers, what's popping?
Salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate that. Salute everybody, JJ. Peace to the God of our wise. We in the building, man. All season, on season, still on to us to a degree, but for us, man, it's on all night long, every day, all day, man. Hey, we're gonna talk about the trade thing tonight. Some really interesting things going on out there. Something that can make us better. You know, like I said earlier, that can really take us to another level. If one of these players out here happen to emerge and come on the Knicks, because I do think we need to do something to get us to that another step there. We were close to what we got, but I think we need another piece, no matter what piece it may be or two. But we need something to get this team a little bit more offensive, 3-point deadly, and all that good stuff. And then I think we have a chance to compete, man. So we're gonna talk about this stuff, man. Shy Powers, there's a lot of stuff that's going on out there, man. But I'm excited about what's on display right now, man. You know, it's just the off season, man. Everybody doing what they're doing, enjoying family, enjoying life, but at the same time, business is still. I know our front office and our coaches not stopping. They still working. They always working. You know, but doing the things that they behind the scenes that's going to get us to where we got to go, and that a lot of that might have to be involved with trades.
Yeah, no question, man. The front office is probably already on the books. You even see some players out practicing again. There was a big thing on Twitter with Obi Toppin and in Manhattan was it Manhattan or the Bronx, and I forgot the Gaucho inside arena. No, it was not arena. State. You know, and some school somewhere shooting around and getting himself together and stuff. That's optimism right there. You know what I mean? That lets you know that he's not finished and he wants to play some basketball. So let's see if we can put some things together to help make this team better for him to get some minutes.
Yeah, real talk. And he was out there with Cole Anthony. They was out there doing their thing. He was out there as well. But yeah, that's good to see, man, that these cats, you know, the season just got over a couple of weeks and all that. But hey, ain't like he been playing a lot of minutes, but so he probably got a lot of energy. But it's good to see the cats working though. They're good to see him in the gym doing what they got to do to get better. Because whether they with the Knicks or not, you still want to see once a Knick, always a Knick. So whether these guys with us this upcoming season or not, you still want them to be good, man, and prolong the career. So I'm glad to see Obi Toppin out there working on this game, getting better, because it's a lot of things going on around him, speculation anyway, whether it's Indiana, whatever the case may be. You know, he got speculation. He got a qualifying coming next year, whatever. So it's a lot of stuff that's playing in his mind. So I think he's doing the right thing by working on his game, getting better. Say, well, you know what? If you're not going to keep me, you're going to get something good for me. You know what I mean? And I think that's important that he keep doing that just work on your game, because just in case, whether he a Knick or you're not a Knick, he making the rest of his career in the NBA. That's just one guy out there that we know. But I'm glad to see Obi in the gym getting the shot power. I think that's important for these cats. That's where the work is put in that season. The work is not put in the all season, in the on season. The work is put in on the off season. You can't practice like this during the regular season when the season is in play. But when the season's over, this is where you're supposed to be at, right where he at in the gym. So and that's the culture they set. So I'm glad to see Obi out there working for sure.
Yeah, I'm just, you're gonna start seeing things dropping. You're gonna start seeing Grimes and Brunson together, probably with J Hard. You're gonna start seeing them. They probably come out all together. You're gonna see Obi once he come back from wherever he's at now, probably in Bahamas, Bermuda, probably some hot place, relaxing himself. You know what I mean? Being that flamboyant dude that he is and stuff like that, with his Yves Saint Laurent glasses on and his tight pants that come up to his ankles and stuff like that. He probably out there getting it on and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure all the team is going to come back, hitting the bench, hitting the weight room. You're going to start seeing these guys filling out their bodies a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm just optimistic to see what happens, man. And I hope that as we go through this this trade machine today, I hope the Knicks are already thinking about some of these guys that we mentioned today.
Yeah, real talk. I agree with you 100% because a lot of them can't help us. There's a lot of guys that they talk about can help us, man. Like I said, this is a good team, but I think we could be better. You know what I mean? And if it means moving out a player and bringing a player in, so be it. It is what it is. It's the nature of the business. But I know this team could be better, but they were damn good this year. Like I said, they're literally right now, to me, the New York Knicks should be going to the finals, by the way this is shaping up. But the way Boston and Indiana, Boston and Miami, the way that thing is shaping up, knowing that we had Miami, that close to maybe a couple of players away from having good games, possible chance to get out of that series. You know what I mean? And but it didn't happen that way. But so, now look at what these guys going through. We definitely had a good chance to go there. So some offseason upgrades going to make a difference to me. And I think it's meant that you can't stay the same, because I think a lot of other teams in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference even as well, going to get better. You know what I mean? So I think it's so important that we do something to tweak this roster, whether it's shooting, whether it's going to get a star, whether it's, whatever the case may be. I don't know what the Knicks going to go through, but whatever direction they decide to go through, I do think that we definitely got to upgrade this roster a little bit, because we was right there, man. Literally, man. I mean, real talk. You talk about a better Randall playoffs, a better quickly playoffs. Obviously RJ the last game, even Grimes to a degree, even Mitch to a degree. If they would have had a better series in a little bit of an elevation, that would have been a different series. You know what I mean? So I know how close we are. You know what I mean? And it's right that you give Miami their flowers, that they doing their thing. It's right, but you cannot tell me that the Knicks didn't play them boys though. Grimes on Jimmy Butler, the way he was playing defense there. So I'm looking for guys like that to come back and respond. But at the same time, we got to elevate this roster. No question about it. Where it may go, I don't know, but we're gonna throw it up in a trade show tonight. We're gonna get the trade machine popping off pretty soon. You guys got some trade ideas that you like, throw them in here. We'll put them up on the trade machine, and we'll talk about it, see how the salary matches up and all that good stuff, man. I know me and Shop Powell's got a couple that we really enticed about, and that we think it'll make the Knicks, help the Knicks be a better team, because this is all speculation, it's all hypothetical. We don't know if it's going to happen. We ain't saying it's going to happen, but this is coming from our perspective, that what we feel as a Knicks fan and a content creator, that can make this team better by the move that we might think they help them. So you guys, ladies and gents in there, have moved too, man. Put them in the chat so we can put them on the trade machine. Let's see, see if it works for the Knicks to make us a better team. Not only a better team on the court, but keeps our infrastructure together. You know what I mean? Because regardless of how much talent you bring here, we don't want to lose sight of that good vision we got for the next 10 years. The Knicks is in a good place, Shop Hours. So even if we bring in somebody, we still got to make sure it work from cap ramifications, cohesive ramifications, all that. You know what I mean? It just got to work. So it's just not bringing them in here to make the team get to there. No, you don't want to bring in a certain contract, and next thing you know, 4 years from now, we're going to be crying. So, obviously we don't want to do that. But we'll see, man. It's a lot to uncover, a lot to unfold. We're going to get it popping tonight for sure.
Yeah, no question. And that the one game that was in question, that last game, and we had so many players that was off. Just to reiterate about that, we didn't even need we needed one more player. That's it. We needed RJ to have that same game that he was having 6 games before that since Cleveland and stuff like that. If RJ would have RJ, I think he had, I want to say 16 points. I'm not exactly sure, but I think he was around 16 points. But if he had another 21-point night, I mean, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, but we're gonna get into it, man. Because I really salute to the chat, everybody. Knicks are nice. JJ, salute to the queen of all queens in the building tonight. Queen Steph, what's popping? What's good, sister? Hope all is well. Kevin Teller, my man. Everybody, man. We in the building, man. Fabian, Almighty Finesse, salute to the chat. Dave Stevens, everybody. You know how we do up in here. But you know what? For me, my shot powers. It's gonna be trades people agree with. It's gonna be a trade that people disagree with. But it's gonna be fun to me because I had some interesting ones. When I look at it from a trade perspective, I try to look at cover all the cross T's, dot all I's, whatever. Make sure that it's gonna benefit us now and later. You know what I mean? So some of the trade I might have in mind, I don't know. Some people might say or they might say nah, which is understandable. But when I look at it, I always look at it from not only just a player perspective, like I said, salary cap implications, how it's going to affect us down the line, the cohesion, camaraderie, and all that good stuff. Is he a Tibbs type of player? Do we have this certain mindset to get here? Like you guys, like I told you guys earlier, I want winners. I don't care how talented you are. Do you got a winning mentality? And if you got talent but don't have a winning mentality, me personally, as a fan, I don't even want you on the Knicks. If you ain't got a winning mentality, we don't even need you. Everybody got talent, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping Knicks bring in somebody who believe in winning. Not only are they talented, but they got that knack for wanting to win. They got the urge to win, or they're hungry. You know what I mean? That's probably the key word I would use the most. We need hungry players, cats who are hungry. And I think if we get a couple of guys like that, or go get one that we might need, but it's gonna be some good stuff coming here. I got a feeling we're gonna pop though. I think the Knicks gonna pop it, man. I'm just waiting to see when all the smoke clears, the dust settles. I think it's gonna be nice. And for me, I got some guys in mind on Shop House. I got some guys in mind. We're gonna get into the trade machine, talk about that, and we'll see what's on our mind. Any particular trade that you would like to see the Knicks pull off and before the season start?
I mean, I got a couple of ideas out there. If we're gonna go to the machine, let's start with a small trade first. Let's start with something that can get Evan Fournier off the books. And when you're ready, you let me know. So this way we can.
Yep, just tell me the team. You tell me the team you're gonna throw out there, and I'm gonna throw it up there.
This is for where is Buddy Hill at now? Indiana. Let's go. Evan Fournier, Obi Toppin for and the signing rights to Rokas for Buddy Hill and the 29th first round pick that they have.
So Obi Toppin to the Pacers along with Fournier.
Yeah.
With Fournier. Who else?
The rights to Rokas. I don't know if you have to put that in there, but
I don't have that in there. So we can add that. We can add the pros and cons to that and the numbers with that. And then we send in Buddy Hills, correct?
Right. We get Buddy Hill, and I think they have a first round pick this year. The 27th, 28th, or 29th. They have a first round pick this year.
All right, so let's look at it from this stand. Right now, Shaw Powers has, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, let me get the screen right. I apologize for that for sure. Oh, here we go. Now we more like it. Shaw Powers now has Evan Fournier over to the Pacers. Him and Obi Toppin, and we get Buddy Hield on a 1 year, $19 million deal. You sending out $24 million. I guess I don't know if Rokas will equate to, but that's within the 60%. I think margin. I think it's 60%. So I think the trade is successful. Let's see what it does for the Knicks. Buddy Hield, what you getting? Straight up sharpshooter. Can shoot the ball with the best of them. 15.4 PER, 16 points a game, 5 rebounds. 2.8 assists. What do he do for the Knicks that Evan Fournier and Obi Toppin wasn't doing for us? And why do you think that makes us better by adding Buddy Hield and get rid of Evan Fournier and Obi Toppin?
This is part of a trade that I have because it's more than just this trade. But the main focus of this trade was to try to get off of Evan Fournier's contract. Think about Obi Toppin, because well, I'll say the next one, but get Obi Toppin. Maybe he can go over there and have some starters minutes in Indiana. And Buddy Hield, proven player, $19 million. I think he's a 38% 3-point shooter and a 40, I think it was 44, 45 percent at the field goal range. And I'm not sure his free throw shooting, but I'm pretty sure that he's a pretty decent free throw shooting. And we need 3-point shooting in the second unit. So and he, with Buddy Hield coming over here, I believe that he could get some second half, some second team rotation and with the New York Knicks.
Yeah, real quick. For me, I like the trade. Here's why I like the trade. Obviously, Evan Fournier not even playing this year, basically.
Right.
So you get a $19 million guy who playing and gonna give you the numbers that he can't even give you. Evan Fournier and Obi Toppin minutes together only equal this year 13 and a half points. My man has 16 by itself, almost 17. I think Buddy Hield's 3-point shooting is very needed in the Knicks on the Knicks roster right now. You move that, you get Obi Toppin out of that situation he in. Let him go get a fresh start. Probably could run with Ben Mathurin and them. Could run with all them guys down there. Young guy, athletic. Probably could hold that power forward spot down. And they up and coming. I know you got Jalen Smith down there, but still, I think Obi Toppin, for what he could do on the court, they could say, listen, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, them guys, and see how it rolls. But for the Knicks, I think it's a win-win because now you alleviate that problem with Obi Toppin. This period, it's off the roster. He's not there. You can't think about this or that. My man, Buddy Hield, what you may think about his defense might be, but his defense is no different than Obi Toppin than Evan Fournier. So you still not. I think he got more competitive on the defense side than them too.
He's not a bad defender.
Right. He will defend the ball. You know what I mean? So at least his effort and competitiveness on the defense side to help the Knicks. And obviously that 43 from downtown, whatever the case may be, you can't go wrong with that. We need that because it's nice when Quentin Grimes don't have it. We need a guy like Buddy Hield. When Quickly didn't have it, we need a guy like Buddy Hield. So I like that trade because number one, this is expiring. It's an expiring deal, so you don't lose out on that because you got Evan Fournier and Obi Toppin's salary off the books, and you don't have to worry about that situation with Obi Toppin the next year whether you're going to extend them or not. Or take the qualifying offer, whatever the case may be. So I think that in a nutshell, I like your trade for that guy. I think that's a good trade, Shop. I think that could benefit the Knicks in a lot of ways with having Buddy Hield, and that was when our Achilles heel in the playoffs was shooting. So I do like that trade. That's a good one, and I would have to second that, man, because I think it'll make a big difference if we get that thing popping, man, for sure. And Knicks are nice, and I do Duarte. That's a good one too.
You could actually add Duarte in that trade as well. Yeah. And I mean to be a backup small forward for RJ. That is also that's another reason why I think I added Rojas, and we get their 29th first round pick this year because then the numbers, the money and everything will really match up that way.
Yeah. He would. Listen,
$4 million. Duarte, $4 million. That'll get it closer to what the money for Evan and Obi would be. You give Rokas up, his rights up, so you could get that 29 first round pick from them. I think it's the 29th pick this year, this season coming up. It's not a big pick, but it is a pick for this year coming. I mean, the draft coming in the summer.
Yeah, and and obviously you already know the Knicks. We minus 33 in cap space. Our roster cap right now is 167. So knowing that you're going to get rid of that Buddy Hield contract, whatever the case may be, that maybe Knicks might say, you know what, you help us do this, and we might want to extend you. I don't know what it may be, but I know as of right now, he's just a $19 million cap hold for 1 year. It's expiring. I think he can help us out a great deal. I just think his shooting is there, and we need that when we, and spread open that floor. Because I think that was, like I said, that was our Achilles heel, was the 3-point area. We were pretty good. We was top 13 in the league this year on offense, and we didn't shoot well from the chatty stripe or the 3-point line. So I think guys like that will be pay huge dividend for the Knicks, man. And like I said, he can shoot them with the best of them, and I think that keep things honest. Yeah, absolutely. And Queen, you're 100% right on that. I like him, man. Jalen Smith is going to be a nice player coming out of Maryland for a while, man. The cat got some skills there, so I think that'd be a nice young up and coming team. But I do like that Buddy Hield move, though. I definitely would go with that. Another one I had in my mind was Obi Toppin for just straight up Duarte. You know what I mean? Just and if you can't get the Buddy Hield thing done, I still do the Duarte thing because it helps the Knicks out in a lot of ways. Where you just switch Obi Toppin for Duarte, so maybe we should have drafted Duarte instead of Obi Toppin. I don't know, whatever. But I think that he had paid dividends here. I think his shooting, he probably, now that Ben Mathurin is done, kind of seem like, I think Ben Mathurin kind of took that spot. You know what I mean? Let's just be real. I think he pretty much. And I'm with that, man. I think Ben Mathurin made Duarte expendable, point blank.
Yes,
point blank. That's
yes,
right.
He should. That he sat the bench pretty much the whole second. I mean, from what I've seen, every time I never seen Duarte, and I always say Big Ben. I like Big Ben too, man. That was one of my guys I wanted. I see why, but I could really now that it's being said, I can see Duarte and Hill for Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier and Obi with the rights for Rokas. That even makes the deal a little sweeter. They had those two play. I mean, well, I know Hill is a kind of sort of a guy that Pacers use, but he's on an aspiring contract. So let's see if we can it sounds good to me. I don't know. It just sounds good to me.
Yeah. That was pretty much one of the ones that I really had, was that particular one was either the either the Duarte and Obi. And I'm not saying that it's going to trade Obi. This is all hypothetical stuff we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have no insight, so we're not even that close to even thinking about stuff like that. But this is just our thoughts. You know what I mean? Our thoughts, our hypotheticals and possibilities and stuff like that. So that's really all it's about. But I like that. I think it will benefit. I like it. I really do like the Buddy Hield move. I mean, because that's, like I said, you getting rid of Evan Fournier's 18 to 19 million actually the year after that. And you don't have to worry about extending Obi Toppin. And if you don't want to extend Buddy Hield, let him go. So you still came out well. You saved almost $29 million because I think Obi Toppin qualifying was like $10 million, if I'm not mistaken. $10 million and Evan Fournier, right? Evan Fournier would do $19 million. So at least you don't have to worry about that following year. And at the same time, you got a chance to reset what you do, because if you look at it from there, like you said, we'll move on to another player. The Knicks, Buddy Hield would have been $18 million this year. Next year, that's gone. That's Indiana. You look at their roster, but anyway, on the Knicks, that would have been gone. So I'm kind of glad that if we would have pulled it off, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I really wanted to put up the Knicks there, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for that. And see what it went from there. But I wouldn't have had a problem with the Knicks doing that Buddy Hield thing. Another player that's probably going to open up a lot of storm is KP. Let's get it on out the way. KP, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys feel about the Knicks making a trade? Oh, excuse me, let me get this off the screen. I apologize for that. Making a trade for KP. Washington Wizards, KP, expiring deal. If that was the case, if they was willing to do that, what would you do and who would you trade? I already kind of told Shot the way I'm going. I would send out Mitchell Robinson. I'm just saying that what I would do. I'm not saying Washington would take this. I would definitely send out Mitchell Robinson. That's 15 there. If they're looking for aspiring, hopefully they're looking for aspiring to Evan Fournier. That pretty much gets you KP, them two players. Now, what you throw in there, whether it's with picks, I don't know. Whether it's picks, you're going to have to give up something to get something, because Evan Fournier and Mitchell Robinson are not equal to talent to KP. Are you willing to give up a couple of a first and a couple of seconds or whatever? So if I did that trade, and I'm looking at this way, Shop House, I put that in there, and why I think it's a good trade for me, why I like it, here's why. If you send Mitchell Robinson, Evan Fournier, and now I can't put the picks in there, ladies and gentlemen, so from far the numbers for as how the numbers match up from a pick perspective, we had to kind of go through that mentally. And you send Kristaps Porzingis to the Knicks. Here's what you got. Even though our payroll go up, and I know we got to make it work, but you got a cat this year that had a PER of 23.1. His was better than any Knicks. Jalen Brunson with the highest PER at 21. Randall at 20 PER. Brunson at 21. KP had a 23.1 PER. He had 23.2 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 2.7 assists. Here's the caveat. Here's why it's a blessing. The man got an aspiring contract, and he played 65 games last year. Best season of his career last year, by far. Stretch 5. Mitchell Robinson had, 9 rebounds this year. KP had 8. Now the big drop-off, no matter how you look at it. You can talk about everything you want. KP had 8 rebounds a game this year. Mitchell Robinson had 9. The difference is this here. KP got you 23 points. Mitchell Robinson got you 7. Mitchell Robinson had almost 1 assist a game. KP had 2.5. Here's a bigger caveat. KP shot almost 80. He shot over 80 something from the floor. Not from the floor, from the charity stripe. Mitchell Robinson, 40. He doubled his. So I guess what I'm saying. So what I like, here's what I like about the KP trade. Let's forget all the sentimental stuff, Shop Powers. You got a 5 who put up numbers like that, can open up the offense for the Knicks tremendously.
Tremendous.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got 4 players, Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ and Renner literally can go downhill anytime they want to because KP pulled the 5 out at the top of the key, hypothetically. You got to guard KP. He could go out there and take their center out to the 3-point line, and you got 4 dudes who can play bully ball all day long. Just bully ball. Straight down the lane, get into him, hit your body. I'm going up and get one. The same way they were doing Miami when they got back in that series. So I like that from a perspective because, and not only that, he keeps the defense honest. Randall, KP, RJ, Grimes, and Brunson. And I'm a Mitch Homer. But Mitchell Robinson ain't no KP. The numbers don't lie. And I think he'll make the Knicks a much better team because it won't be, like you say, it wouldn't be so much packed in. And now you can even post Randall a lot because now you can take Randall down in the block because KP is out there. So maybe we can get Randall back to being a bully ball Randall and don't rely on that three ball so much he can go down in that paint because KP got my man out there. Randall could do work down in the paint. So that's why I like the trade. From the salary cap implications, he makes the team better offensively. He's a better free throw shooter and all that. His numbers just don't lie. And he had a great year this year. And it's an aspiring deal at $36 million. $36 million. You don't even have to sign KP back if you don't want to. But look what you did do. You got Mitchell Robinson's contract off the books. You got Evan Fournier and who else, whatever the case may be, to make it that happen like that. Or if you go the other route, like you said, I think Shaw Howard, you were talking about.
I was saying, and I like the way the more and more you talk about it, the more and more I like it because of having Julius Randle still here. But I say trade Randle and IQ. And this goes back to the prior thing with Buddy Hield. The reason why I put this one together because this one kind of ties in with Buddy Hield. Because now we let go of IQ instead of Obi, and we do Randle and IQ for Obi and IQ for KP. You know what I mean? And this way is we now. I think KP can play the center position. I think he's listed as a center, but I think he's also listed forward/center. Now we still have Mitchell Robinson still can defend against centers now. I mean, Mitchell Robinson defends against centers. I don't know if KP can. I don't want to say he can't, but I think he'd be better suited to play more small power forwards than playing the center position for 82 games. So the reason why I say Randall and put KP at the power forward position and put IQ in the package is because now we have Buddy Hield on the team that can pick up for IQ's points in the second unit, and Mitchell Robinson still as the center, it still opens up a big gap in what we can do. And now we have two, and the two guys still can dominate with rebounding. Now we have 2 7-footers back there. As long as they both can stay semi-healthy, we have both of them back there as rebounding and blocking threats, and it makes us way bigger in the team with KP, Mitchell Robinson, and I guess we'll still be running with RJ Barrett on the bottom 3.
Yep. I can see that as well. But you know what? And you just said something in the last couple of seconds or whatever. You said if both of them can stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's the caveat. That's the caveat right there. Can Mitchell Robinson and KP? Because that would be the only reason a lot of people won't do the trade. But KP played 65 games this year. Randall 77. Mitchell Robinson played 59. 59 games, Mitchell Robinson. KP played 65, and the numbers are just astronomically better than his. So except for maybe the 4 standpoint, but I like either way them trades. But I will go back to this here. I think KP with Randall gets us down into the finals. I think KP and Mitchell Robinson gets us to where we were this year. That's my personal opinion. Because
I'm not knocking that. I see where you're coming from. The reason why I had that trade is because of the Buddy Hield trade as well. And now we don't have to worry about we got IQ. I mean, we got Obi Toppin. Now we can split Obi Toppin minutes almost down the middle. KP can get 30 minutes, and Obi can probably get about 28 minutes now. Yeah. And now we got and if we're fighting to find out about how Obi is going to play, what he's going to do, how he's going to perform and stuff like that. If he doesn't get the minutes, we can sign him to that minimum deal for at least 1 more year, and they can split the minutes. And IQ, we having the comparison about IQ, if we're going to keep IQ or if we're going to keep Obi. And I think the bigger contract that's going to be presented is the IQ contract. I think IQ is going to want more than what Obi wants. I think IQ is going to want that bag, 24, 23, 22, 23 million, 24 million dollars. I think we could get Obi and have him back up KP and still get about 28 minutes and keep him with 14 to 17 million dollars. Okay. I mean, about 5 million. We'll save $5 million if we get off of IQ, I think, and IQ gets to go over to Washington and start with Bill, and Obi and Randall will definitely go right over there and start right on the court. So I think that's the only reason why I'm thinking that way. And I'm not opposed to what you said, because that was one of my pitches. I mean, one of my trades, Mitchell Robinson and Evan Fournier for KP as well.
Yeah. I definitely like the latter because, like I said, I just because of what the Knicks going for. They going for. I like you always say, it's about the name on the front or the back.
Facts.
I think the Knicks going for the gusto. But what I mean by going for the gusto, I don't think the Knicks trading Randall. And I don't blame them. Don't get me wrong, man.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, 24, 10, and 4, whatever point for the ain't but so many guys in the league doing that. You know what I mean? I know we don't like the annex sometimes. I get all that. And he didn't come up big, but maybe that's why I like a guy like KP. It might help take the pressure off of him. Because, one thing about the Knicks to me, we talk about the assist numbers. You know why the assist numbers are there? Because they're not making the shots. Can you imagine? So if you got a guy knocking down shots, then we have more assists that we always complain about because they're not getting. But you know what? It ain't that they're not passing. Even though we're ISO type of team, the reason why we ain't got is because they ain't knocking them shots down. KP to knock it down a little bit when his field goal percentage is good. KP shot 50% from the floor this year. Shot almost close to 40 from downtown. You know what I mean? So that's different than 40% from the Chatty Strike, Mitchell Robinson, 40% and 7 points. And though the field goal number is high because he's pretty much a dominant. And so I think I like that because I think it gives us a better chance from an offense standpoint. It changes the whole way another team gonna play us. You cannot let your center sit down there like the Brook Lopez's of the world, sit down there and lag in the paint because your center's right there. Nah, you got.
And I'm also with that too, Divine, with that KP for Mitch, because now Randall is not going to be double teamed by the big man that lags off of Mitchell Robinson as much too. And I mean, Mitchell Robinson's man usually is the one that comes up to double team somebody. Even you see that a lot. And when Mitch comes to the top with with Brunson at top, usually two men, they leave Mitchell Robinson and let him go wherever he's going to go. And that man that's guarding Mitchell Robinson is the man that sets the double team onto Brunson or whoever is controlling the ball. So I'm not opposed to Mitchell going, because now with KP, when he says, and I can't say this to KP, I believe probably will set a better screen for Brunson as well. And you're not going to leave KP by himself at the top of the key or on the wing somewhere alone when Brunson is coming to double team Brunson, when Brunson can easily pass it to either KP or Quentin Grimes. You know what I mean? That's making our 3-point shooting way better.
You know, and for me, guys, it's one of the trades. We move on from KP. It's just one of the trades that makes sense all around from an economical standpoint, talent standpoint, future longevity. Like I said, if you don't sign KP, you let him walk. You got $36 million sitting there waiting for another 15 million for Giannis or for Luka Doncic or whatever. If that shit would have happened. You know what I mean? If them things would have happened, I'm not, I'm not opposed to it. Now I say that from reason because I'm looking at if he plays 65 games and knock on wood, and then he did his job. Like I said, we had a center that only played 59, and then in the playoffs against Miami, we didn't see the Mitchell Robinson that we normally were accustomed to see him too. That could have been the injuries, the hip, everything. It just could have been injury, and that's my main concern about KP as well. But I could truly say that was the first year I seen him play that many games, other than when he first got to the Knicks, and he was productive, man. 23 high PER and all that good stuff. Let me ask you a question: how do you feel about Karl-Anthony Towns?
I mean, people call him soft, but I think he's a great player, man. He can stretch the team out. I don't know if he's that much of a rebounding threat per se, but if we're the big thing about making these trades now is we may lack a little bit on offensive rebounds, but we should make more shots. So I can understand picking up Cat, I could see picking up Cat, and the only thing that deters me from getting Cat is that contract that he got, man. 36 million this year, then like 40-something million next year, then another almost 50 million, and then 50-something million, then 60-something million. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, there go right there. On the screen. He get 36 this year. 50 in 2000, they go to 54, 58, 60.
Oh man,
nice numbers. And that's some high numbers, but at the same time, look what the cat giving you. Sorry guys, he giving you some astronomical numbers, man. So you can't take that for granted. He is giving us some numbers, man. And that's why I kind of like it in a sense. But like you said, the numbers is too much. But if you did do that, hypothetically. The Knicks gonna have to give up some talent there to get him. You don't get a play like that for some bag of chips or whatever. So you're gonna definitely have to give up some talent. Which way the Knicks gonna go? Obviously, that's interesting to me because let's say if you did that deal, Karl-Anthony Towns traded to the Knicks. Who or what you giving up? What are you getting? Because look at his numbers, man. Let's not get it twisted. Karl-Anthony Towns put up some good numbers this year, man. He put up a PER was 18.8, right below Julius, 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I think the numbers is right. 20 points. That's right. 21 points a game. That's right. Yeah. So he did all that with 8 rebounds. And then you look at over here, Julius Randle had 10 rebounds, more points, but obviously, but you got to remember, Cat was hurt most of the season too.
Yeah,
he missed about 50-something games, I think. But to see the assist numbers, he won more assists more than Julius. Rebounded, obviously, Julius Randle 2 more than him. The point differential, I think that that's pretty much where it's at. But who would you give up for that contract? Is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. That contract is off the chart. You're gonna have to give up something good to get this dude, man. You're not giving up no. You're not giving up no.
Maybe Mitch. Would probably be Mitch, IQ. Mitch, IQ. Where's the other paper that I have with the trade for Cat? Jesus.
I think you're gonna have to give up RJ or Randall.
Yeah, definitely Randall. Randall, Mitch. Oh, there you go. Randall, Mitch, IQ. At least for that would probably cover for this year.
I don't know if I'm willing to give all that for Cat though. Not Mitch, Randall, and IQ.
Yeah, I mean it would, because you have to give up either Randall. You have to give up either Randall or RJ. And you can't give both of them up together. So you have to give up to make the money work. It'll be Randall with his $25 million.
28.
Or you could do Randall and Evan Fournier. You could do Randall, Evan Fournier, and IQ.
I think what I'm looking at it from is what's fair to them, because what are they willing to? What do they want? Obviously, I don't think the Knicks would want to give up Randall to get Cat. I think they want to pair Randall with Cat.
I think the Knicks would too.
Yeah,
but I ain't giving up RJ.
That's what I mean. So it's either RJ or Randall in that deal. I think one of them got to go in that deal. They give up Mitch too. That's tough. But at the same time, it's the draft picks too. You know what I mean? Can you compensate on the draft pick side? But I don't think they're looking to go into no rebuild. I mean, they got Rudy Gobert and they about to pay Ant-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they about to pay him. I mean, they don't have a bad team. They just made it to the play-in last year. I mean, this season and stuff like that. It's not like they have a bad team. I didn't think that the fit between Cat and Gobert would be a good fit, but I think it'd be a better fit. But then again, you're looking at Randall. Then Randall and Rudy have some beef. So you gotta look and see. And they already have Kyle Anderson as their small forward, power forward kind of type guy. At least he's the guy that kind of guards up Randall a little bit sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
That Cat, I kind of didn't do too many with Cat, but if it would probably be Randall, Evan Randall. No, it can't be Evan and Randall. That's too much money. Evan and Randall, that'd be 30, maybe 30. That'd be almost $40 million. 19 and 20 and 20. Yeah, that'd be $45 million.
Yeah, because your numbers only got a match for that 1 year. After that,
yeah. So that's too much money.
Yeah. So look, if you go Randall 28, see that's what Randall making next. Let me put it up there for the
about 24, I think it is. I mean 25, 26, something like that. I don't think he's making.
Yeah, his contract does ascend. It gets higher. So it's 25 or 24. If it's 25, then you only need 13 million from a dollar standpoint. Not even 13 million, because Cat making 36, right? The next year. Randall making
25, so it'd be like 11.
Yeah, you don't even got to make up 11. You probably got to make up like 7. Like that 7. So it's a way to get it done. But I think what's going to happen is you're going to have to throw in some draft picks, but it shouldn't be many, because Randall's a 2-time All-Star. He's an All-NBA, just like Cat. Cat made it 3 times. You don't have to give up a lot to get the deal done, to me, because you almost damn near swapping players. That's what you really do. You're swapping 2 players with whose numbers are just about the same. That's why I don't think the Knicks will do that. I think they want Karl Anthony Towns from Kentucky, Randall from Kentucky, with Jalen Brunson, and Jalen Brunson, and let's say Grind. I think if anybody get thrown in that deal, not that we want it, I just think the Knicks. I think about how much the Knicks believe in Julius Randle, and I think a player like they probably figure a player like Karl Anthony Towns, if the Knicks were to do this, takes the pressure off of Randle. It just takes the pressure off of him, and it's JB, Karl Anthony Towns, and Randle. I think that's bona fide, man. Look what's going on right now in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler, and some good players. Their skill set is nice from the 3-point line because it's all about team. But damn, who on that team gonna be able to stop Randle, Brunson, and Karl Anthony Towns? How many teams in the East can even do that? Despite what you may think about Karl Anthony Towns, how many teams in the East can stop Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle, or Karl Anthony Towns and R.J. Barrett and Jalen Brunson? Ain't too many teams in the East can stop them boys right there. That's why I think the Knicks would do that, because the salary cap eventually would go up. It's not like you know, if you get one thing people don't understand, if it's Randle, you eating 3 years, so 29 off of Karl Anthony Towns, 50 million, you really swap out only 21 because Randle made 29 or something like that. So you're not eating a whole $60-something million, 50-something. Obviously, you're sending out money to bring in money. So even if you do Randle, the Randle got a 4-year deal just like Karl Anthony Towns do. So his contract probably be a $21 million difference. Now, who's gonna be that other player to make up that $21 million? Maybe over at least 2 or 3 or 4 of them years, or 3 of them years. And if you do that, then I don't got a problem with it, because you sending out this much, you bringing this much. You just got to make sure that Karl Anthony Towns contract at the end of the day with 3 years from now is probably around a little more than $10 million to what everybody else was. And I think you can live with that. You know, especially if the CBA go up. I mean, not the CBA, but excuse me, the payroll go up in the NBA. We'll see, man. But he's one of the guys that's out there. I threw him out there, ladies and gentlemen, because he's just out there. He's just out there. Karl Anthony Towns is out there in the stratosphere, and he's a CAA guy for Piscataway, New Jersey, 3-time All-Star, one of the better shooting big men in the league, period. Now, the numbers don't lie about that. That cat shoot 40-something from downtown. He's one of the better big men in this game, so I don't know if I would do it. I'm just like you, Shop Powell, scared of that contract.
Yeah, that contract.
But it's the way to offset it. It all depends what you're moving out. Like I said, but I just think that's going to be an interesting call. But I do believe, though, just from a number standpoint, if you keep Randle and you do get Karl Anthony Towns, and I love RJ, but RJ PER is like, look at his PER is literally 12.9. Brunson 21.2, Randle's 20.3. Karl Anthony Towns PER is 18.8. So player efficiency rating, I cannot believe RJ only at 12.9. That's hard. So we need RJ to get to his, and that's why that was tough. We need RJ to come back and get that PER up to where everybody else's is. Like I said, Karl Anthony Towns 18.8. That was injury prone season this year. Randle 20.3 and Brunson 21.2. You got to get them numbers, and that's why I think that the Knicks would do Randle before they do RJ. I just think they would, because of what they're trying to do. And RJ, to me, was one of the better ones we had in the playoffs. Him and Brunson. That's what's so scary about it, Shop Powell, because RJ had a great playoffs. Now, hopefully, it translates into the regular season all the way through.
Right.
If it do that, but I can understand if the Knicks. I think Karl Anthony Towns and Randle and Brunson, man, that's pretty dynamic right there to me. And the numbers is killing me though.
I got another one for this is a 3-trade deal with Cat. It's Chicago, Knicks, and the Wolves.
Chicago, Knicks, and the Wolves. Okay, who you let me fix it and I get that out there.
This would probably have to happen before we would have to. I don't know how we would have to trade D Rose though. That's the problem. But
he can't. He got aspiring anyway. He going anywhere.
No. Chicago would get from the Wolves Milton, and they would get from New York Rose, and our first round pick for 2024, and a first protected pick. The Wolves would get Levine, and we would get Cat.
Let me see if I can pull the 3 team. I could do 2. Let me see if I can get 3, man. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but so you got that, Minnesota, Chicago. Bear with me. I get up and we put up there. So you got Lakers, Chicago, and the Knicks. I mean, not Minnesota,
Chicago, the Wolves, and the Knicks.
What do y'all think about that, chat? That's I'm telling you that JV Randall Cat. That's a pretty nice line up there, man. We can do some work with that, man. That's tough to deal with. You guys cats can do it inside and outside. And like I said, he like KP. He can stretch the floor. One of the best shooting big men in the NBA, bar none. Call every town, bar none. One of the best shooting, if not the best shooting big man in the NBA. That's major. So let me see if I can get the 3rd team up there, and if I can, I like to see how I can pull that off, because I think that could work. And so many.
Yeah, it would be Chicago would be getting Mitchell Robinson, Derrick Rose, our first round pick for 2024, and one of those protected picks. Dallas is the top 10 or something like that. Levine will go to the Wolves, and we get Cat.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, Almighty, I don't know, man. It looked like a step back to me. Brunson, RJ, Wiggins, Crowder, Vucevic. Vucevic defensive suspect. Crowder good baller, but he's a bench player though. He's a bench player. He back in the day he was a good role player. Wiggins, I can see. I like the Wiggins thing there. Crowder can shoot the ball, Almighty. I ain't mad at you for that. Vucevic can shoot the ball, Almighty. Ain't mad at you for that. Obviously we know what Brunson and RJ could do. That's not a bad team, but do you think that's better than the one we got now?
And that's a lot of wheeling and dealing right there to get those guys over here too.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, I don't think Crowder and Wiggins ain't no Julius Randle. Julius Randle 25, 10 and 5, 10 and 4, whatever. All NBA, all-star 2 years, out of the last 3. That's tough, because that's the one that got me. Is I think that's a weaker lineup than we got to me than we have moving forward. Because Crowder, you're replacing Wiggins. You placing Wiggins with Grimes. You replacing Crowder with Randall, and Vucevic with Mitchell Robinson. It's tough. It's tough. It's a good team. I think that who's gonna compensate for Julius Randle? Let's say Brunson don't have a game that night. Can he between RJ, Wiggins, Crowder, and Vucevic? Good one, Almighty. I'm not hating on it. I'm just trying to compare the 2 teams. Brunson, Randall, Wiggins, Crowder, and RJ. Crowder to me is a bona fide backup in the NBA now. At his age and what he did, to me, he's been a traveling salesman. But I can see where he going with him, because you don't really not looking for him to be a prolific scorer. So I get you on that one, Almighty. On Wiggins, tough call. I don't know. I had to see. What y'all think about that, man? That team got some players there, but I would have to see RJ take a major step for me to do that right there. Literally take a major step, because it ain't easy to replace Randall numbers, man. I mean, real talk, man. That cat can get it with the best of them. He will have to stagger that defense. You're 100% right on that one. I think that defense would be a little suspect there. Vucevic is not a good defender. Crowder ain't what he used to be. RJ when he need to be. Brunson's not a great defender. So you leaving Wiggins and Crowder to really be the main guys in that starting lineup to defend the ball. That's a little bit tough for me, but hey, it might work though. I'm not hating on him for sure, my brother. You're right in the deck. I think the way the Knicks are presently constructed, they going out there and trying to get somebody that's going to help them get out the second. I don't think they're going to do. It's not going to be a lot of trades going on. I just think there's going to be a trade too, but I don't think it'll be nothing significant. I don't think so. I think it's going to bring us some shooting, unless they go after one guy that's going to help them. I don't know who it may be. And the reason why I always go back to KP is because of the contract. Wiggins and KP, I take KP because of the contract. That's number one. Anybody out there DeMar DeRozan name was out there. Shot power. That was an interesting trade. DeMar DeRozan with his aspiring to the Knicks. And that was one you get somebody who can really get it done on the offense side of the ball, which we need. Can score the ball. He's all to me like you can rely on his game like you can rely on Jalen Brunson's game from a scoring standpoint. Like DeMar DeRozan get it in any situation. He got a $28 million aspiring. That's
where will we put him though?
You're gonna have to move RJ. Obviously, that's the only way you get him. I think you get him. I would play this here. You put him at RJ played the 3. He played the 3. That's what that is. So let's say I'm just going off that RJ 4 years, $23 million, and it ascends to 25, 7, and 9, something like that. DeMar DeRozan 1 year, $28 million. It's over this year. Numbers 20.6 PER, RJ 12.9 PER, RJ 19.6 a game, DeMar DeRozan 24.5. RJ 5 rebound, DeMar DeRozan basically 4.6, almost 5. RJ Barrett 2.8 assists, DeMar DeRozan 5.1 assists. That's the only thing. The only reason I see the Knicks would do that is that unless you can keep RJ. Now, if you can keep RJ, Randall, and Brunson to get my man, now we talking. Because listen, you can't hide them that numbers he got, and that boy can get it done. He got it in him. You know what I mean? So the DeMar DeRozan trade to me, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Depending on who you got to give up for it. But y'all always know me. I'm looking at this is his main figure right here. 28 million for 1 year. 1 year. That's it. 1 year he out. And you clear. Now, I don't want to give up none of these 3. But if they willing to take a couple of picks with Derrick Rose, $15 million, let's say if you can't sign quickly, would they take quickly in Derrick Rose and a pick? Maybe
15. Derrick
Rose got 15. IQ got 4. He got $4 million.
20, that's 20.
So you need about maybe another player, a couple of picks. If the picks equal the salary, I guess. Like a first round pick, depending on what Rangers, and it might be $1 million, $2 million. I don't know what it is, but they could get it done. But if Chicago think, because if you do that, that means you telling me that you about to go a different direction. If you keep Zach LaVine, then that trade don't happen. They not taking back anybody for give up DeMar DeRozan for a bag of chips when you got Zach LaVine there, unless they're gonna build through Zach LaVine and just do everything over. I don't know, but they gave that man $200 million, something like that, close to or whatever. So with his Zach LaVine's money is 4 years, $40 million. That's 160 right there. $40 million a year. If you move DeMar DeRozan, either you're gonna bring in another player that's better than DeMar DeRozan, or he's a superstar. Because you wouldn't do that just to move out DeMar DeRozan, because unless they're not gonna sign him. If Chicago gonna move on from DeMar DeRozan, then they're gonna have to get what they can get. But you're gonna have to bring in a player. They're gonna have to go out there and sign a player. So you can do the trade with the Knicks and don't take. But if you get the money right and it's expiring money, maybe then yeah. But I don't see that happening if you're not giving up. They're not gonna give up DeMar DeRozan, and unless they're gonna do it to me, go another direction. But Vucevic got $33 million. He got a contract coming up. DeMar DeRozan got a contract coming up. Obviously, Kobe White got a contract coming up. You're still stuck with Lonzo Ball, $20 million for 2 years. So how did that scenario play out with Lonzo Ball, knowing that he might not be able to get up there and pick, the way things going, he never gonna be the same Lonzo Ball right now. So for the Knicks in that trade, I like it, because if you put DeMar DeRozan in the Knicks starting lineup, that's a lethal team right there. Whether you put Quentin Grimes coming off the bench at the 2 guard spot, the bolster that second, you're going to lose quickly anyway, probably, maybe. So if you bring in DeMar DeRozan, you put Quentin Grimes in the second unit, that's a lot of firepower, that first unit, man. Real talk. Then you don't have to go after the Cats and all that, because you got that 24-point score right there at the 2 guard spot, and you still got Mitchell Robinson there. So I like it in a sense, because the numbers don't lie. The Cats dropping 24, like I said, 24, 4 and 5. and he got it in him. He can get it from any range on the floor. He nice like that. So shot power, I like it from that standpoint. It all depends who you're going to give up, but I do not have a problem with DeRozan. You know, I like them aspiring contracts. You know, and the man can get down. He can get down. He got game. You know what I mean? So I like it from that perspective for sure. Your bike phone, my man.
My bag. My only big downside to that is you know, if RJ goes into contract and DeRozan is RJ's 20, he'll be 23 next week in June sometime, and DeRozan is 33, probably getting closer to 34. I don't know if I would trade RJ. I try to stick it out with RJ.
Okay.
I'm banking on RJ the way he played in the playoffs. I'm banking on RJ, man. I think he's going to be a premier player, man. 6'6". He dropped maybe 8-10 pounds this summer. Develop a short jumper instead of shooting so many 3-pointers. A face-up jumper, not a back-down jumper. I'm banking on what RJ. I'm banking on RJ like they banked on him by giving him that extended contract at 23. Then his thing ascends. His thing goes up every year. So I think I think they see something in RJ, and for certain players I wouldn't mind going, but for DeRozan, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know, because once he's over this year, are they going to sign DeRozan back? You know, if they do, they probably sign him for a less contract of $28 million. But is he going to really want to get a $28 million? Is he going to want to re-sign with New York Knicks? You know what I mean? That's a big. I mean, I like DeRozan game. He's a closer. You get him in the fourth quarter, he could easily get you 8 to 10, 12 points in seconds and minutes. You know what I mean? And he's definitely a closer. But if this was 3 years ago, maybe I might have thought about it.
Yeah. For me, it's all about winning.
I know what you mean.
But not only inspiring, it's about winning the championship.
Yes.
Make no mistake about it. You'd have had DeMar DeRozan against the Miami Heat, Knicks in the finals. Let's put it out right now. If you had DeMar DeRozan on the Knicks this year against Miami, he would have came up big with Jalen Brunson, because he done played he got experience, he got game, he nice. And I'm not. So what I'm saying is, I like it from that standpoint. He would have came up big for the Knicks. You know what I mean? Listen, and I like all our players, but a lot of them, man, they got to go to another level. They got to go to another level, because the Knicks is like, listen, they rolling on this here. Before Jalen Brunson get out of that contract, the Knicks need to have a championship, or at least there. You know what I mean? And I think that they're gonna go out there. I like that move. Let's just say if you got Jalen Brunson, Randall, R.J. Barrett, DeMar DeRozan, and JB, DeMar DeRozan, R.J. Barrett, Randall, and Robinson, that's a wrap. Because you got so the move would be, to me, is send Derrick Rose back to you. That's a $15 million. They got that money back. You could even send Evan Fournier or Emmanuel Quickly, because the Knicks don't think they're going to sign him, and they're not going to sign Kobe White back. So you can have Quickly and Zach LaVine. I mean, I'm talking about from a skill standpoint. At least that's solidified in there. But I don't think they're gonna sign DeMar DeRozan back, because they got to sign Vucevic back. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. That's $33 million after that. I don't know if Vucevic get that money from them again. They got a chance. One thing about Chicago, you look at their payroll, they got a chance to do some good things, man. Because they payroll, if they would have signed a lot of them players back right now, they total cap was 124, and they're not even over the cap. Then you take in consideration, look what their money gonna be at next year, $79 million, because DeRozan going, Vucevic going, a lot of cap. Only thing they got on the books is Zach LaVine, and next year, that year, Lonzo Ball, Caruso, Terry. They had $79 million in cap. So they might be like, listen, we can either rebuild this thing, or with $79 million, we could replace DeMar DeRozan and Vucevic with two prime players, because they got the cap money. You know what I mean? So
that's true.
Yeah, so they might be like, listen. So even having Evan Fournier or Derrick Rose, that money come out the books. You got what you wanted. They're in a good situation, but I don't know. But I like DeRozan though. I like him, man. I think him and Jalen Brunson could be out 1 and 2. See, him and Levine was doing it down there this year. They wasn't bad. They got to the play and they kind of lost. I think they lost to the Bulls out of the Heat. But DeMar and Jalen Brunson, that is game over there. With from a offense production, what we need, I think he'd be nice. I like him. So that's another trade that's out there. What you guys think about that, man? Y'all would y'all take my man DeMar DeRozan, or who you guys want? Somebody say, we get Torrey Craig, they pass on Wiggins. The other big name out there, no, not big name, but you know the name out there that's out there, Anthony Simon, Shot Powers.
Who?
Anthony Simon from Portland.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet.
Yeah, I seen that out there. Jeremy Grant, nice. I like that too. I'm wondering if he's gonna sign back with Portland. That's a good one. Jeremy Grant. I like Jeremy Grant, man. He would have to probably, if we get him, depending on who he a free agent, and other people in Portland want, they trying to build something around Damian Lillard, they're gonna want something. They're gonna want something. If you build around Damian Lillard, they're gonna want something for Grant. Or at least get the contract money out of there. To see if they could do, because Dame gonna be there. Obviously, you lose Jeremy Grant, that's pretty tough. And the cat had numbers this year: 20 PER, 16. The PER went to only 4 points out in our day. 20.5 a game, 4 rebounds, 2.4. But he's a defense juggernaut. He could D him up with the best of them. That's a good one there, man. So it's a lot of scenarios out there, ladies and gentlemen, that can go either way. The Embiid thing, I don't think that's going to happen.
What about OG?
I like the OG deal. Depending on who we giving up, I don't want to give him up for our big three. I put it like that.
No, I got an easy trade. You okay. Get OG Anunoby for Evan Fournier, and we give up 24 and the 28 first round pick that we got.
I can see that. They contract about the same. Let me put that up there. That's a good trade right there to me. That's a pretty good trade right there. Cause I think it works. It could work if they with them 2 picks. Cause there's another team that ain't gonna have a payroll to worry about in another couple after this year. Cause all their stuff is pretty much coming off the books. So let's see. And Anunoby. Let's put Anunoby over here to the Knicks. Trade to the Knicks. Who we taking out? Evan Fournier?
Yep.
Evan Fournier to the Raptors. You're pretty much swapping out the same thing. Coming in, coming out. Evan Fournier 18.8, Anunoby 18.6. So you're saving a couple of $100 there. Numbers 16, 5 and 2. Obviously, Evan Fournier can't even count that. PER 14. Ain't nothing to sneeze at, but I guess it all depends on the year. But at the same time, he also been playing around Siakam, Grant, Van Vliet, but he could come here, gonna be the same thing. Randall, RJ, and Brunson. So yeah, but the size is there. But if he get here, he definitely makes us a stronger team. You're gonna have to put Quentin Grimes on the bench, put RJ
defensively, no question.
That's a big team too. It'd be like almost like the team he comes from, other than Jalen Brunson. You got RJ 6'6", 6'7", Anunoby 6'7", Randall 6'8", and Robinson. Pretty good team. You only have one. You only have one player in that lineup though, in the first unit that's shooting over 40% from downtown. So again, our defense, our 3-point shooting might be our Achilles heel. That's why I like the Buddy Hills thing so much, because of that 40-something% from downtown. Because Anunoby probably shot right around 37 this year. Not bad. His stats.
Yeah, I think it was 37, 38.
So him and Brunson would be our primary 3-point shooters. And he's a shooter, but he's not a knockdown per se. So I don't got a problem with it. I think our defense would be legit. He could bang in the inside, but is he going to be an Obi Toppin type guy where they just let him sit in the corner? You know, because that's the crack mind with the Knicks starting lineup. I mean, RJ Randall them. It's like everybody just when Grimes do. We know what Grimes going when soon the offense when soon he crossed that offense the side the half court, Grimes ran into the corner. You know, and these guys seem like people catching on that. Well, you know what? Just go out there and play the Knicks in the corner. You know, just go out there. That guy going over there, he gonna be here. He gonna be here. And but I definitely like him though, especially for the package, man. You talking about he makes the Knicks a better team. I put it like that. He definitely made the Knicks a better team with putting him in the starting lineup and put Grimes on the bench. That's legit. That's a strong team right there, man. So yeah, Shaw Powell, I have to go with that.
Yeah. There's another one out there that I didn't write down, but it's for Siakam. He's sneaky. I kind of like Siakam too. He's on a I think he's on an aspiring deal as well. Siakam. And we could probably leave Evan Fournier over there. We got to make the third. He makes $37 million though. That I didn't see. Let me write that down on my page.
He's aspiring though. That's finished. Yeah, his contract is finished after this year.
Yeah, 37 mil. Yeah, he's still see. That's why I like KP deal, man. But Siakam would give us. But I would have to figure out. We would have to give up. Evan Fournier, Obi Toppin, maybe 10 million and 19 million makes 29 million. Still got to come up with somebody else.
Or quickly. You could do quickly and I would do quickly because they're gonna have to replace Van Vliet if he don't sign back. But they team, man, listen, you talking about somebody with a roster. After this year, they can go get whoever they want money wise. They payroll be $41 million after next year.
Yeah, they clean. I mean, after this year, they got a lot of they got a lot of aspirants. A couple of teams are like that too, man. A couple of teams are like that. You know what I mean? They got a couple. That's the same people that we keep. Toronto is one of those teams. Chicago is one of those teams. I mean that going to have some big money in the next couple of years. That's why I believe a lot of teams are going to want to make some major trades with this quote unquote this new CBA ruling or whatever. I mean they want to make moves now before that thing goes into effect.
Yeah, Almighty. I think the reason why Portland would get rid of Anthony Simons because they might believe they got to sign Jeremy Grant, and from when I seen, they would talk about possibly Anthony Simons going to Brooklyn with them 2 picks they got, and you got to remember they got Shannon. They got what's the young man named Sharp. They do that Sharp out there now, so they probably want to sign Grant. Knowing that Shannon Sharp is coming up there because they got Anthony Simons there and Damian Lillard. They got him there. But they talking about Bridges. Now, I don't think Brooklyn would do that. With Bridges, somebody else, and you get Portland's Anthony Simons and both Portland picks for Mikal Bridges, and they need guys like that because the Portland's Achilles heel is defense. So, but if they're going to sign Jeremy Grant back, I see why they would do that. Yep, but Cam Johnson, another one, JJ. Almighty, I like Cam Johnson, man. I'm a Tar Heel guy.
I got one with Cam Johnson.
Okay.
So this pick right here, I'm going to salute to Raw Hebrew today because I was watching today and he had me think of this trade. He made this trade up, and it sounds something that we would do. That if we wanted these guys. Not so much Mikal Bridges, but we would get Vinny Smith and Cam Johnson. We would give up RJ. We would give up Julius Randle and IQ. His words, not a sexy pick, but can get the job done.
So you talk about Julius Randle going to the Nets?
Yeah, Julius Randle and Emmanuel Quickly for Vinny Smith and Cam Johnson.
Let me see that from let me put Emmanuel Quickly over there to the Nets, and you got who coming from the Nets to the Knicks? Dorian Smith.
Yeah, Vinny Smith, and Cam Johnson.
Okay, so you got for the Knicks, who's going to be a starting five? You got R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Brunson,
Obi Toppin.
Whew, my God. Let me see. Man, that's a tough one.
I mean, if you want to go, I mean, I would start with Obi, but you got Finney Smith there too. You know what I mean? He's a power forward. You got Cam Johnson. He's also a power forward. You know what I mean? So both of them are 6'7", 6'8". I mean, now we got some big guys and you can put Cam Johnson as a small forward coming off the bench. You could put Vinny Smith, Dorian Smith as a small forward as well. So they're versatile positions: small forward / power forward. You know what I mean? You know, Cam Johnson can shoot the lights out. Vinny Smith plays excellent defense. You know what I mean? Johnson is an unrestricted free agent. Dorian Smith is making around after this year to be 2 years left on his contract with 13, maybe no more than $15 million. You know, something to think about. Like as Ross said, you know, today he said, not a sexy pick, but can get the job done.
But let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, Dorian Smith, and Cam is better than Julius Randle? I don't see Dorian Finney-Smith got a 9.2 PER. 9.2. I get with his numbers, but the man 8.3 a game, 4 rebounds. You put him and Cam Johnson numbers together, and they don't even equal Julius Randle numbers. Here's my dilemma with it. That team ain't better than the team we got now. I don't think Dorian Smith, Cam Johnson, Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, and Mitchell Robinson is better than, to me, personally, with Julius Randle there. Due to the fact I haven't seen them cats in the playoffs. Cam Johnson, nice, up-and-coming young man. He can shoot the ball well. I like it, Shopper. I like it in a sense. I'm worried that I think we underestimating the value of what Randle do on the court, you know, to me. And I'm just wondering, can Finney Smith and my man, and they both been in the playoffs, don't get me wrong. I like it. I'm going to tell you why I do like it. Dorian Finney-Smith been to the Western Conference Final with Jalen Brunson. They got that rapport. I'm good with that.
That's another reason.
Cam Johnson can knock him down, and he a Tar Heel dude. I'm good with that. And he was doing this thing out there in Phoenix with him and do the Nets do that? That's what I'm thinking. Do the Nets make that move? You know, because the Nets might not, with the way they I don't know if they would want to take on Julius Randle contract. That's tough. You know, they got 2 guys within. One of them is during 3 years. It's not bad, but my man's an unrestricted free agent. I'm wondering, would they be willing to take Julius Randle numbers on the book? Which I like to trade because I think Julius Randle and Mikal Bridges can make it happen down there. You know what I mean? With Claxton, Randle, Mikal Bridges, and so on.
IQ could probably go in there and start over Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yep. That's interesting. And Dinwiddie got, well, what's his contract? He got 1 year left. 20 man. Matter of fact, he's a free agent this year. So it could work. It could work. I don't have a problem with it. It's just that Julius Randle is a 2-time All-Star and an All-NBA ball player. He ain't easy to replace. He's one of the 6 top scoring power forwards in the NBA. He one of the probably top 13 scorers in the NBA. 14. You know, I'm just wondering how these guys are going to live up to the pressure. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm with you, Camilio. That 25, that 20, 10 and 4 don't grow on trees, my man. That's 25. That's hard to replace. Because what about them cats? They take away their certain part of their game, like they jump shot. Like if you get on Cam Johnson and you lock down that perimeter, or Dorian, because the only thing Dorian Finney-Smith can do is shoot the 3 ball. What happens with a team? Do they got other ways they can get involved in the game and make the game? I don't know. I haven't seen the players since I've been watching them. You know what I mean? Cam Johnson, the knockdown 3-point shooter. Dorian Finney-Smith, the knockdown. But that might be the only dimension of the game that's Randle at least can do it inside, outside, and get you more rebounds. You know, so it's tough. It's a tough call for me. If they do it, I live with it. But I think Randle is big time, man. It's hard for me to see. I don't know why people would want to give up Randle. Randle needs to stay right there and get somebody to go with him. They need to go get KP, go get somebody to go with Randle and RJ Brunson, and make it happen. But I get it though. I get it, Shot Power. That's a good trade. I'm just, because I think Randall's value is if they did that, you got to give us a couple of picks for Randall. Why would they give us 2 picks for 3 picks for somebody else, but you want to give us 3 first-round picks for Randall? Randall worth 3 first-round picks to me, or 2.
I don't even think New York Brooklyn has any picks.
Right.
I don't think they got any picks left.
Yeah, that's a dilemma for me.
30. They probably got their picks in 30 or something like that. They gave up a lot of picks to get the KD and whatchamacallit.
Yep. But that's why I was telling Almighty why I think they would do. Portland got the 4th and the 20-something. And you get a young player, Anthony Simon, to grow with these guys. That's why I can see Portland they will be willing to do it, because they got to get some assets. That's why I think the Knicks is one of the better position Shot Powers in the league, because we got draft picks, all that. A lot of these teams strapped, man. They strapped, and look at their payroll. So, but that's a good trade though. It's a good trade, man. I think for me the caveat is just Randall. I think the Knicks just need to go out there, man. The Tenzo, that'd be a good backup. I think that's what the Knicks really need to do to me. Or to me, what they really need to do. If you're not going to get a superstar, bolster that bench. Bench.
That's what I think the Knicks are gonna do. Mm-hmm. All this stuff that we're talking about right now, it all sounds good, but I think they're gonna run it back and try to strengthen their bench with a couple of players to plug in on their bench, like that Buddy Hield, maybe it all depends on who if they're gonna let go of IQ or Obi. If one of those guys go, then they can put another player in place, because remember Thibodeau runs a 9-man rotation, and right now with the rotation of our starting 5, which is Brunson, Grimes, RJ, Mitch, and Randall. The people that's coming off the bench is IQ, I Hart, J Hart, and Obi. That's our 9-man rotation right there. Okay. Do we stay pat and run that back again? Or do we make a smaller pick, maybe if they decide that they want to get off of IQ? Or if they want to get off of Obi, can we get someone to come in there and be a Buddy Hield that's going to come in, give you 20-something minutes, and probably knock down 3 or 4 3-pointers per night?
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, that's I like that. This DiVincenzo too. Johnny Davis, that's not bad. He said, Johnny Davis said, "You think Tibbs could help Simmons?" I think Tibbs pretty much can get him right, get him back to being a competitor. Because Tibbs, listen, we could say one thing about Tibbs. You might not like his calls and something, but he developed these cats, man. These cats developing under Tibbs. RJ developing, Randall developing, Robinson developing, quickly developing. He definitely got that team developing, man. So yeah, will I think he can make it Ben Simmons? I wouldn't put nothing past it. And sometimes the worst thing you can do is like wake up a sleeping giant. Ben Simmons was an all-star one time, man. Other than injuries and all that, but one from that. But he's one of them top defenders in the game, though, man. I tell you what, he'll lock some cats down for the Knicks, but I don't know. I think he can, Johnny D. I think he can unlock him. I really do. I think he can. I think Tibbs got a good knack for doing that. He bring out the best every since the day to Chicago, man. He turned some of the most. He got some of the guys who didn't even think had a skill set got paid. Joe King, Noah, all these guys.
Yeah, that's true.
He got them cats paid, man. He got Luol Deng, all these dudes, man. Tibbs, what Spoelstra was now, that was Tibbs used to be. Just like Eric Spoelstra right now. Get the most like Jimmy Butler. He wasn't a first round pick. Look what he did, got turned him into. And I'm that's why I like where he at with that. But it's a lot of them out there. It's interesting, ladies and gentlemen. But I think whatever the Knicks do, they're gonna do a right shot Powers. I think they're gonna find something. I think me personally, I got a feeling they're gonna either bring in somebody to put in that starting lineup, or they're gonna load that bench up. And to me, all they need is some shooters. They got everything else. But you never know. I think Leon Rose them lurking out there, man. I think them cats is lurking. They're gonna strike when it's right. But I think they're not far away, man. They not. Like I said, that's why I try to not be biased about anything. Like I said, I love RJ, I love Randall, I love them. They didn't show up in the playoffs, but they did help us get there. So do we need a guy that could be that Brunson dude next to Brunson? Then we got Randall and RJ. If you bring in a dude who can be the second fiddle or first fiddle over Brunson, or second fiddle to Brunson. Then you got Randall and RJ doing what they do. I'm good with the Knicks. I think the Knicks can go far with that team. But I just think that we got to have guys under pressure that can get the job done. That's it. That's all. And RJ showed improved. He showed improved in the playoffs. That's why I'm good with. I don't think you need to trade on these guys. I think hopefully Randall's foot come back more healthier. I think that foot maybe played a major part of what he was doing there, because he probably couldn't get off his foot a lot of times he wanted to. Make no excuse for the thing that he wasn't doing right, for us lacking on that. But sometimes when you're injured, you never know. And I'm not making an excuse for him, but it also could be a part of the reason why he couldn't go full force. Even like Mitchell Robinson, he couldn't really go full force because I think that hit was killing him. He wasn't even getting on the floor in the playoffs. I'm like, yo, you need to get it, not compared to the Cleveland series. So, it's interesting, man. But no matter what, I think they're in a good place. They just got to find that guy. But we want to throw these trade scenarios out there because I just think it's an interesting one. But the one like that Dorian, I don't have a problem with the Dorian Finney-Smith, man. I just wish it wasn't Randall. I just think we need to put somebody with them, dude. You know what I mean? If we're gonna go out with somebody, Randall mess around, change that whole play. I think Jalen Brunson might help Randall get away from that playoff crunch that he's in. Because you got a leader like that who can say, okay, this Randall, now this is what we got to do. And now you got to hold some of the, see what's intriguing to me. I'm gonna pass to you, Shop out right quick. Now they get to work with Jalen Brunson another season. You know what I mean? Like literally, they all
another full season. Mm-hmm.
They get to work together again. Like, okay, now when we go into training camp this time, y'all know what I do. I'm interested to see what the Knicks gonna do this year in the off season. But let's see what they bring in here first.
How you feel? We ain't going to Embiid, even though I don't think Embiid is going anywhere.
Okay.
Embiid takes a lot of. I got a couple of trades with him, man. But it's a lot of players. It's a lot of players. Embiid. My first one would be Embiid. We get Embiid. We have to give up Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and IQ plus 4 first-round picks.
Okay, so you going there. You said Randall?
Yeah, Randall, Mitch, and IQ.
Okay. And we look at the salaries on that. And then fourth round. From a salary perspective, Embiid making $46 million over 47 4 years. Well, so you sending out, you definitely can do it because you got around 47. Yeah, you definitely can do that. So then what do you do? Do you move Obi Toppin to the 4, start him?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Joel Embiid, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, Grimes,
and Brunson.
Do you think that team is better than what could be Joel Embiid, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris? And I don't know who the other guy was starting to go. But so Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and PJ Tucker. Do you think that team is better than? Do you think the Knicks team with Joel Embiid, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, who you got? Quentin Grimes
and Brunson.
So Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Joel Embiid. Do you think that team is better than James Harden, Joel Embiid? That's tough. Wow, that's tough. And James Harden is a full Ballot Hall of Famer. Tyrese Maxey looked like he really on his grind. So that's tough. That's a good one. But we dance to get up a lot. We giving up. Joel, he had 33 points a game, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. You giving up 9, 19, 23 rebounds. You giving up 40-something points a game. But Joel Embiid got a 31.1 PER, and Randall got the highest at 20. So what? Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
mean, Embiid would take up, pretty much what Randall and Mitch can do. He grabs about 10 rebounds a game, about 30 points a game. Mm-hmm. He can make up for Mitch and Randall. The caveat there is IQ, what IQ does. But you that means now with Obi Toppin in the lineup, now Obi Toppin will have to step up. Obi Toppin would only have to give you 14 to 16 points a night and 6 to 8 rebounds. to help out Embiid on the boards, and everybody else will have to pitch in. But for those three players with Obi Toppin in the lineup, now you're looking at Obi Toppin getting more minutes, could possibly score more points. Embiid is a willing passer. I mean? So, Obi if Obi could get in there and get 7 rebounds and 14 points a night, to add that on to Embiid, Embiid 11 rebounds a night, that's 17 rebounds, and that's 40-something points, 12 points with 31 points is, 43 points. So that could make up for the scoring that we will be giving out. Or what's that, 16, 20. Oh, where's the points at? I missed up.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, Brunson and B will be crazy. I mean, let's not get it twisted.
I mean,
2 players between each other scoring 50-something points. Just like I said, that's that 10 rebounds. Don't get it twisted. That's crazy.
A defensive stopper can grab rebounds, can hit the mid range. Now you're not worried about fouling Embiid because he gets to the line about 20 times a night. And I mean, he's gonna open up the field, and he's gonna make RJ look a little better when he pulls himself out. I mean, he's a willing passer too. That would that would make a that's one of the trades. I got another one with Embiid too.
Okay.
Almost the same picks. Just we keep Julius Randle and put Evan Fournier in the trade.
If you could get Embiid and keep Randle and RJ, I get them with 6 picks and whoever.
Yeah.
You're gonna get Donovan Mitchell 4 or 5. If you're gonna give Donovan Mitchell 4 picks unprotected, I give Embiid 6 picks if you keep Randle. Joel Embiid, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and Jalen Brunson is a wrap. That's a wrap, bros, for real. I'll give him 6 picks. I don't give a fuck. You can take anything else. Listen, I like Nas Reed. I don't got a problem. Nas Reed,
he's on a 4-year contract anyway. Nas, I think he's on like a 3. He just signed the contract for like 4 years. Not much though. I think he's getting like maybe $8 million or something like that. He's on cheap. He's on a cheap contract, and he's young.
Yeah, he can get it. He's strong. But I know with Harkenstein there on the spine, so you had to send out Harkenstein and Robinson. What would you do with that, JJ and Johnny? If you had to get Nas Reed, who you sending out for him? Let me put that out there because that's an interesting. We go to Minnesota. Who you guys putting out for Nas Reed? Because he can definitely get it as well. I like Nas Reed, strong dude. Man, he definitely got the bang to play down here for sure. Nas Reed right now, he's an unrestricted free agent. That's what I was saying. He only make $1.8 million. He's an
yeah. I think he maybe just signed the contract. I mean, he don't make his contract ain't that big. I think he just maybe signed some 3-4 year deal or something like that. I think he's making maybe $8 million, $6-8 million. I don't think if I'm not mistaken, I gotta look it up. Let me look it up.
Yeah, right here on the trade machine. He it's right here. Nas Reed made $1.8 million, unrestricted free agent.
Unrestricted.
Yeah, he's not signed with nobody. He's not signed yet. But there, I like the number though. 11.5.4 rebound. He needed to rebound the ball better than that though. 4.9. But the cat banged though. He can get it. Yeah, he that's why people put him in a lot of trade because
he's little too. He's only 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah, he's a power forward, man. With Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, ain't no place there for him. Especially with the money he's gonna want to get. Then you got to sign Ant-Man. Ant-Man got to aspire. He about to get paid. You got Rudy Gobert tied up for what, 40-something million?
Yeah.
41 million. So I think that's the reason why they might lose Nas Reed because of Rudy Gobert, he on a cap for 41 for the next 3 years. Karl Anthony Towns on what his numbers do. Mike Conley, he got aspiring, so that's good. Mike Conley, he'd be done. Then you got to look at Anthony Edwards. That Anthony Edwards contract gonna probably be a Karl Anthony Towns type of contract. No question about that. He about to get paid. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep Nas Reed, ladies and gentlemen. But if you did do the trade, who would you send out for the Knicks? Let me see what you guys got in there. We said. Yeah, he can't. He ain't lying about that. He can't stay about the floor. But man, them numbers. Yeah, he right. Nick 100. He stay on that floor though. I like Christian Woods, man. A lot of people wasn't big on him, Nick 100, but I like.
I like them.
I like Christian Woods, man. I just thought that his defense, he could shoot the ball a little bit from the 3-point area. He could block a shot here and there. I like his length. I really do. I always liked his length. I thought Christian Wood would fit well at the Knicks one time.
I wanted him last year.
Yeah, yep, for sure. That was a good call, Nick 100. I like my man Christian, man. I always liked him. But yeah, so with the Nas Reed thing, that's like they're gonna have to. I don't think they're gonna be able to sign him back there, man. It's depending on because you also got to think about my man, which I love to death, Jaden McDaniels. He got a 1 year. They're gonna have to sign him. You know what I mean? So and I like Jaden McDaniels. I wish he was on the Knicks. I like that young man defense with the best of them. I mean, he gets down with his. So I like Jaden McDaniels. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just wondering what the Knicks will do, but I don't have a problem with that though. I believe you 100% on that one. I think he would. I think Christian Wood will get you at least 17. 17, but I like his size and length and and all that, man. So that'd be interesting to see. But that's a good one. Nick, real talk, Nick 100. He said, I want to trade those 3-way. The Knicks, Nets, Toronto. Knicks get Bridges, Polo. Toronto get RJ and Mitch. Nets get Siakam and picks. I like that.
Hey. I said that.
Yeah, that's legit right there. We got to wonder. I think the Nets going. Hey, Lynn. I think the Nets ain't getting rid of Bridges though, under no circumstance. I think they're gonna make that cat because his character, his who he is as a basketball player, skill set, character, everything. I think he's gonna be one of them Nets that pretty much gonna be one of the younger faces of that franchise. I don't think they're getting rid of him. I really don't. I love that dude too, man. Who they get Bridges to go over?
And you could definitely do that pick, Lynn, but you probably wouldn't. It'd probably be instead of Siakam, I would put OG. And I mean, I would put OG in there because my big thing for RJ to trade him is to trade. If RJ is in a trade and we want Bridges, the way I think we could get him, hypothetically, is sending RJ to Toronto, sending OG to Brooklyn, and Bridges comes to New York. That's one way I think. And all the contracts are kind of similar in numbers. 18 to 25 million. They're all around that same amount of money. So I think if we wanted Bridges, we would have to give up RJ. And RJ, the best way to get RJ is sending RJ. It ain't going to be RJ for Bridges. But I could see RJ going to Toronto and OG going to Brooklyn and we getting Bridges. That is something that I've been trying to bang out for. And I don't want to let go of RJ, but if we let go of RJ, I could go for that pick right there because Bridges and Bridges, Grimes and Brunson would be deadly.
Yeah, and not only that, Mr. Robinson. Quentin Grimes and Mikal Bridges, that defense stellar.
Yeah.
That's man.
Aside from I forgot what I was gonna say because I was reading the chats. I think they would take him, but it's the money. Now we're talking about money because Siakam now is making like 37 million. 30. How much does Siakam make him? Siakam is making 37 million. So we would if it was to go like that, they would have to figure out how to get to that 37 million for Siakam. But OG is only 19 million and Bridges is 22 million and RJ is 20 something million.
Let me ask you a question, Shot Powers. Would you do? And later in the chat, let me ask y'all, would y'all do RJ 2 first, 2 unprotected first, swap for Mikal Bridges if the Nets would go with it? They might want 3, but I don't know. Would you do RJ, swap for Mikal Bridges and 2 first rounders?
Yeah, I mean, don't get it twisted. I think Brunson is already out there talking about. I mean, he's probably in his father's ear, and his father's in Tom Thibodeau's ear, and Tom Thibodeau is in with Leon Rose. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure, But I also think I'm not sure. There's just so many people with this CAA thing under their belt now. I'm not sure if Bridges is CAA, but he definitely from Villanova, and he has played with J Hard and J Hard and Brunson. So
yeah, they want to chip together.
yeah, so I mean, I would love to see him here. I don't think so, and plus I think he still has about 2 or 3 years on this contract as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, he just got 3, but I like the deal because he got 3 and RJ got 4. It works out to a sense.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. So let me tell you something. Mitchell Robinson at the 5, Randall at the 4, McHale at the 3, Grimes and Brunson. That's legit, bro. I'm dead serious. That defense, not only the defense, and he knocked the 3 ball down. He what did he put up this year number wise? Mikal Bridges 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. RJ 19.5 rebounds, 3 assists just about. His PER was RJ was 12.9. Mikal Bridges' PER was 16.8. So you know that's what's the, you know, when everybody thinking about what RJ going through. Be honest with you guys, as a Knicks fan, that's what's really the problem with RJ, his PER, his efficiency. Now he can't play. He's not efficient. And his rating is so low because he's never consistent. Once he get efficient, RJ Barrett be dominant. But his PER stay down there like that because he's not efficient. But Mikal, that defense, man, that length, and he now you got a 6'7", 6'6", like RJ about the same. But I do that because that's tough. That's a tough one.
I mean, I would do it as well. Like I said, I would do it as well because of his defense. He can hit that 3-point shot. You know what I mean? He can hit the 3-point shot. He can hit the mid-range, and he'll be on the court with Brunson.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be on the court with Brunson. A known commodity to Brunson. You know, that'll make those two guys. And you might even see a change in the whole starting lineup. It might be Brunson, J Hard, Mikal Bridges.
He like they want me when to call. They gonna win me when to man.
I mean, you might see that. That might be the new starting roster. We get Bridges. You know, you put those 3 guys that know each other and know how they play with each other how many years. And now, but see, the big thing about that is now I seen someone in the chat say is now what's going to happen with Julius Randle. Now he's going to really be like a quasi 3, you know, on this team because Brunson's going to definitely be the one. You know what I mean? Brunson will definitely be the one, and Bridges will be more than likely the 2. You know what I mean? And he can play defense. He can shoot the shot. He'll help us with 3-point shooting. But you know, that I've been saying that trade for, you know.
Would I trade Randall for him?
Randall for Bridges?
Bridges.
I don't know, because now we got to look at Obi being a starter.
Yeah, he can be a starter. Mikal can
he can light it up, man.
What you can do is you can slide Grimes to the bench, slide RJ back to the 2, Mikal at the 3, Obi at the 4.
No question. No question. Or you could if you really wanted to, you can it could be you can still have Grimes in there and put RJ at the 4. You know what I mean? You could put it could be Brunson, traded Randall, Brunson, RJ, Bridges. I'm sorry, Brunson, Grimes, Bridges, RJ, and Mitch.
Okay, and Lynn, let me ask you a question. If you was able to get Mikal Bridges, let me put the chat back out there. Let me get out the screen for a minute. If you was able to get me, and would you go small ball with Randall?
You said that too, Lynn. I love
Randall.
That's
Would you do that same starting lineup? But only thing you're doing is moving Randall to the 5, and you putting maybe Mikal at the 4, or what do you think about that? Because that's a good one too, though. You know, that's a good one too. I mean, you got to have Harkenstein being off the bench enforcer, but you definitely gonna. And the defense still gonna be stellar though, because you still have McHale and Grimes. So you got one in the front court, one in the back court can get down. I think RJ will play, when he got some dogs around him who constantly doing that, I think he'll pick his up. That's a good one too. Lynn, so that's not bad. We'll see small, but we'll be lethal though. We be lethal from a scoring and bully ball perspective. But yeah, that's a good one, man. Yeah, it's a lot of things out there that's interesting that's gonna happen, man. We don't know too much about what's gonna happen. We only can just
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, crazy land. I'm just saying, RJ to Toronto. We pick up OG and we trade OG to Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn to take OG before they take RJ.
Got a contract.
Yeah.
Mm. And you might have to throw the picks in there though.
Yeah, you might have to throw some picks in there, something like that. But I think that trade would work out. We definitely would have to throw some maybe a pick to both, maybe a pick to Brooklyn and a pick to Toronto. Oh no, not to Toronto because RJ gets more money than OG. But if we was to move RJ, the only place I want to move RJ that I think that he could go and prosper, really go prosper, Toronto. You send him back to Canada. And I mean, you send him to Canada, you take OG, which is on a declining contract, and you send him for Bridges, and we take Bridges, and we substitute Bridges' money for RJ's money.
Mm-hmm. Here's the one that could work. I think Brooklyn, you might can pull this off with Brooklyn. Because I was kind of piggybacking over. This is piggybacking over what Linda said. I want Mitch out. All right, let's say we take that scenario. Mitchell Robinson, Emmanuel Quickly, 2 unprotected. I think that'll give Mikal Bridges. Because the money, man, because Mitchell make him 15 this year, Quickly make him 4. That's 19. And obviously you got you throw in the 2 picks there.
To Brooklyn?
Yeah. Straight to Brooklyn.
The reason why I don't think Mitch can go there is because of that light skinned dude that they got there already. Claxton. You know what I mean? Who's gonna start? Who you gonna put? Who you gonna put? Mitch or Claxton?
Yep.
You know what I mean, I don't think that that trade will work. I mean, but
unless they trade him, he got 1 year, $9 million. So they might can get rid of him. They might can move him. But I definitely they do have Claxton, but Claxton's on a 1 year, $9 million. Or do they say, are we gonna sign Claxton? Or we said we'll trade Claxton to get the money out the book. So if you trade Claxton and you do bring in Mitchell Robinson, you only really got Mitchell Robinson for like $6 million that year, whatever, because he making 15, he making 9. But yeah, I get it though. I get it. That'd be a hard sell. But this is just a scenario of Mikal Bridges. There's really nothing else about this.
Yeah, because I don't think they're letting go of Mikal. No,
they're not letting him go. I think they're gonna. I think he's one of their mainstays, man.
Yes,
I don't blame him.
I think so as well. I don't even think they're gonna let go of Cam Johnson. I don't think they're gonna let go of majority of that team. Cam Johnson, Finney Smith. I don't think they're really gonna let go of any of those guys. Not that they don't have to. I mean,
probably Spencer Dinwiddie because of his contract.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got 1 year left. They're not trading him, man.
They're not. Listen, Lynn. I'm a big Mitchell Robinson. That is my guy, man. But the only trade that I see that we can move with a contract that is going to be feasible for the Knicks, that's not going to kill us, will get us some scoring as a center. I know you don't like this trade, but KP, I don't see, like, because Mitch has a $15 million contract. If we're talking about Embiid, we talk about Giannis, if we're talking about, any big name centers in the league, we're talking almost $40 million, 30 something to 40 million. We're talking about Cat. I mean, all those centers, all those 3 centers, we're looking at starting at 30. The starting price for those guys is $36 million. 36. Then put my damn book away. 36, 46, and let me see. Cat is 36 next year. Embiid is 46, and who that else? Embiid is 46. Cat is 36. Giannis is 40 something, but KP is at 36 too. on a Spiderman contract where we can get him at the end of the year and be like, all right, if we want him, we'll keep him, or we can sign him to a contract, a more feasible contract, right around $25 million for 2 or 3 years.
Let me ask y'all a question. Out of these three guys, I'm talking about the Knicks, out of KP, and Cat and Joel Embiid. If you had to pick one of those centers that you think that most likely would go to the Knicks, who you think it would be? If you say the Knicks is gonna have, if the Knicks had to grab one of them three guys this year, who do y'all think is gonna be?
Who's the three again?
KP, Cat, and Joel Embiid.
I mean, I'm gonna swing towards the Cat's way because of his connections with Leon Rose and with Tom Thibodeau. You know what I mean? What I would want would be the KP because he's been here in New York. He ain't scared of those bright lights. He's ready to talk to the media and all that stuff. I think Cat would be, you know what I mean, one bad game or something like that. You know what I mean? He's going to be I don't want to say like Julius Randle, but as I hear, you know, through the hoopla that, you know, he's still got a little, you know, he ain't as bad. I don't want to put him in the category of like, you know, but he's not as bad as Randle is, but he's just as bad. You know what I mean? You know, there was some clamoring about how when he was on the team before with Tibbs, his locker room ethics was terrible. But if they were swinging for anybody, I think it would be probably Cat. I mean, they would try to go for Embiid, but Embiid is expensive. You know what I mean? If we go for Embiid, we're giving up about three or four players and 4 or 5, 3 to 5 first round picks, if it's protected or not. You know, you're looking at 3 first round unprotected and 2 unprotected. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I would have to lean Cat. I'm with you, Shop Howard, because you know you got Tibbs, Cat, Minnesota, Garrison Rojas, the Cat, the guy who worked for the Knicks was out there, the GM out there in Minnesota on the Knicks staff now on the front office. You got Randall and him at Kentucky. You know what I mean? You know you got the Kentucky connection, you got the CAA connection, you got the familiarity, and I think we can't compare Tibbs and Cat now to when Cat was a young Cat coming to the NBA. You know what I mean? He done matured. I'm quite sure Tibbs done matured. Look at all that mess there, you know. So I'm quite sure they and I like that. I think no matter which way you go, whether Cat or Randall or Cat, I think they bring Cat in here and keep Randall. I don't see them doing that. I don't see them get rid of Randall to bring in Cat. I just don't think they'll do that.
I think the same thing because the other way, I mean, even with Mitch, you would have to give up Mitch and Fournier and probably IQ, which wouldn't be so bad. But now you still your money with Cat, man. Whew, that $36 million. We get 1 year to get a championship because after that, $50 million. And I mean, we doubling the price that we paying for Randall. Randall's only at $25 million. We're doubling the price next year. Randall contract may go up a little bit, but now we're doubling up on Randall. Now we are in the luxury tax or somewhere close to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, we're already in it, but you know, we'll be farther in it by then.
Yeah, but you know, and the good thing about that, you know, a lot of them contracts will be coming up the books too. You know, don't get me wrong. Brunson to be done, Randall will be done. A lot of them cats to be done. RJ to be done by the time that get here if you did do the Cat thing. But I think I just said that I think the Knicks would do it probably because of the connection with Cat. That's why I think they would do it. And listen, you can't sleep on the man numbers now, you know. So you know, and all that good stuff. But I just want to put that out there. If you had a choice between the three, Cat, him, what would the Knicks do? And just from a Knicks perspective, a business wise, it would be Porzingis. Everything else, I think KP. Player to player, because I like this player, I'm good with them. I think it'll be Embiid. I think Embiid, because him and Jalen Brunson got a good rapport together, especially when Jalen Brunson down in Villanova there, Philly. He played with Philly all the year. Jalen Brunson, a big Philly fan, a Philadelphia Eagle fan, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. So I can see the player relationship with Embiid and the skill set. The connections, Cat, the money, KP. That's what I was saying. pretty much.
Yeah, overall, that's how I'm with it. KP for the money.
Yep.
I mean, that's the main thing. KP for the money and what he could bring to the team. I just think he can have the floor wide open, and you definitely gonna be better at 3-point shooting with KP on the team.
Yep. The recap, what we did since the season was over. Obviously, we started about the end of the season recap. We talked about the recap of the season. Then we went into what was the who stays, who goes, the yays and nays, who stays, who goes, and now we into this situation. Pretty soon it'll be time for the another month, whatever. It'll be time for the free agency.
Another week, not even months.
Yeah, about July 6th is free agency. July.
Yeah, well, what is it? What's that? July? What's the June 20-something, 23rd?
Or talking about the lottery or the draft?
Oh yeah, lottery. Okay, all right. That's what's coming up. That's what June. All right. I don't know. Oh yeah, because that's when the trading season starts, right? Right around the lottery or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. So you name too many.
If the Knicks don't make no major moves, guys, later we bringing back the team in the start lineup. I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do with the bench. If we don't make no moves in that starting five, which I don't have a problem with the starting five, not at all, because just like I said, Randall and Quickly didn't have a pretty good playoffs. I think them two would have had the playoffs. Would have been a different story for the Knicks. It probably would have a different story if Randall and IQ would have came up the way they normally do for the season. So bar a major trade, if the Knicks stay in pack, Powell, then they just stay with where they at. I think they got to upgrade the roster somewhere, and I think it's going to be on the bench because I really got to see if they're going to sign IQ or they're going to let IQ walk. Do the Knicks sign IQ, extend him? Do they extend Josh Hart? So we got two guys and Obi Toppin. Well, right now this season it's Josh Hart, and I think Quickly he's qualified to get extended. So do we extend them two guys, or we just get and had to trade somebody because we don't know if we're going to be able to keep them because of salary money? Like Obi Toppin, much we want him to stay in New York, we might not be able to keep Obi Toppin. We might not be able to, if they sign Josh Hart quickly. I don't know how they're going to sign, and I don't know. It's tough for Obi Toppin. He's a tough spot, man, because I don't know. I don't believe giving nobody 15, 17 million, you're only getting a certain amount of minutes because Randall's there. That don't even make no sense. I'm not giving you 18 million, you playing 15 minutes a game. So I think at all the guys out there, I think the trade, he might be in trade more than anybody, I think, man. I just think he's in a bad situation, man, with the Randall situation, and he about to get money pretty soon. I don't see if you don't trade Randall, the Knicks is not. If you don't trade Randall, I don't think the Knicks keep Obi. My personal opinion, I don't think.
I'm with you on that one too. Because not saying I'm trying to push Randall out the door, and why I'm more swaying towards KP coming in the door. But the one big reason why I like the KP coming as a power forward and keeping Mitchell Robinson here is because Obi Toppin will get at least 28, 20 something. He'll get high 20s. So now we can give him a couple of more dollars off of that $10 million signing thing that he gets. That's just, I think KP comes in. I think his minutes per game this season right here was close to like 31, 32. So you drop him down to 30 minutes a game. You give Obi 28 minutes a game. That's it right there. That's the bottom line right there. 30 and 28 is what 50. That's the I don't know what I'm trying to say right now, but I think 20. You almost split the minutes down the middle. 30. What is it? 48 minutes. So you got 30 minutes, and Obi will get 20 something minutes. 20. Get closer to 20 something minutes. I think even KP could I forgot the word that they use, but use him minorly. We don't use him as much in the beginning of the season. We get him in 25 minutes and Obi, split the minutes down the middle or something like that. But they got the big figure it out is what they're gonna do with two players, IQ, Obi, Randall, or RJ. So that's the quagmire right now.
Hey, yeah, real quick. Hey, Johnny, I'm with you on that, man. That's why we talked about I understand where Johnny comes from, that we might be overlooking some of the cheap steals. I think that might what it might have been. I really do. I'm with you on that 100%, Johnny David. It might be we keep our starting five and just like you said, do some cheap deals. And I got a deal that I would like to see. And believe it or not, if we had to move Obi, I would love to send him. I'm gonna tell you no lie. I would love to send Obi Toppin to the Orlando Magic for Jonathan Isaac. Period. And because what that does, Jonathan Isaac contract pretty much is down void now because of the injury he had. But man, just to be able to have a 6'10" cat who could D the way he do behind Randall, he probably was Anunoby before Anunoby was Anunoby when they got injured. Jonathan Isaac was that dude, man, real talk. So I would mind having like, okay, we got to send him somewhere down to Orlando. Jonathan Isaac got 2 years, 17 million, but I think that was something because of his injury and he didn't play so many games. That contract might not be that way. But then 6'11", 230, he just been injured. But if that contract is what it is, and it's not a guarantee no more, I gotta check it out. But it says 2 years, 17 million on here. I don't know if I want to do that, but man, if he was healthy, he would have been. I would have liked him in New York. I like his size. I like what he could do. But that's that. But other than that, man, the Buddy Hills of the world, I'm good with that one. I like that trade. This is all about trades. What we think. Yeah, I know Mike Lugo. That's what I was saying, man. He played last year, but he didn't play enough last year. But man, I thought he was coming out of Florida State. Jonathan Isaac was gonna be that dude, man. Mike. I just like, man, I love that kid game. 6'11". I mean, he straight defend too. I was like, but but if that contract wasn't what it was, but then the man had a 20.3 PER though. That he efficient, man, because he D up anybody with that 6'11" body. He D up a lot of cats, man. And he when he on, he can score the ball. So we'll see how it goes, man. But overall, man, it was good, man. It was a great show, everybody. I really appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us and going through all the trade stuff, because that's really what it's all about right now. No matter where you go, everybody, on Twitter, whatever, who the Knicks going to trade for. A lot of it just speculation and noise. Like we said, this is all hypothetical stuff we doing in here. There ain't no actual about it. You know what I mean? Trust me, we wouldn't even put that out there like that. But I like some of the stuff we talked about, man, and I like a lot of the players out there, man. I really do think that the Knicks might roll that starting unit back and hoping that these cats come out and have a better chemistry together, more cohesion. But I don't like it in a sense because of the floor spacing. I can tell you that much. So I think I know y'all getting tired of me and Shop. I know y'all get tired of KP, but it's just that if you get any free agent out there without hurting your infrastructure, that's what you go get. That's because of infrastructure, the money. That's what it's all about to me, man. It's just all about the money. You know what I mean?
It is.
We got Giannis and them cats coming up in 2024. You want to be in a position to be able to get them dudes, man. And a lot of teams out there, they're gonna want aspiring contracts. With this new CBA thing, a lot of teams are looking for players who got on them low end deals, aspiring deals. They ain't trying to sign these cats to these long term deals. Because they don't know how this thing gonna go. But a lot of teams, man, they looking to get these 1 and 2 year players. I don't have a problem with that because, like I said, you can get $36 million a book in 1 year. And you got Giannis and them coming down the pipeline, and who else? There's a lot of everybody out there. You know what I mean?
Giannis, oh my God!
If you want to be in the running for that, you gotta have the money. You gotta have the money and the players. So we'll see. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. But I think that no matter what the Knicks do, I trust and believe what they're gonna do. They're gonna do the right thing. Horton Tucker, I like that Mike Lugo. That's a good look right there, Mike. Horton Tucker. I like Horton Tucker. He can do that. Shot Power is gonna be interesting to see, man. We got about a couple of months or whatever, man. Time go by, but I still think that it's gonna do something. They have to, because everybody else gonna do something. So we had to see.
Yeah, I mean, with all these things we're talking about, and the trades and all this stuff, I honestly, I really think that the starting five for the New York Knicks is probably going to come back next year. I think where we're going to work at is trying to work the second unit, which is Obi Toppin, IQ, Josh Hart, and Jay Hart. You know what I mean? Isaiah Hartenstein and Jay Hart. I think we may see two different play. I don't know. It's all about OB and IQ. You know what I mean? And if we make a major move, it's going to either be Julius Randle or RJ. You know what I mean? So if we're going to strengthen the second unit, then we might see a move for Obi Toppin or IQ because their contracts are coming right down the line. You know what I mean? And if we could get somebody that can help out on the second unit, I think that's where we're going to be. Somebody to roll with J Hart and I Hart. You know what I mean? I think though if we could pick up Duarte and a Buddy Hield in that second unit with with iHeart and JHeart, that might be something they might think to look at. I think Tom Thibodeau is still going to do that stagger with RJ Barrett, where he is the fifth man on the second unit, like they did last year. You know what I mean? I mean, like they did this year. So, I mean, all these. I would love to have Embiid, but if we're looking at Embiid with his money and how much we have to give, we'll have to almost lose a year almost to get better. I mean, because we're not going to have no. If we get Embiid, we're not going to have no money to try to get anything. We'll get some veteran contracts. We don't even have no money in veteran contracts. I think we only got like $5 million, $6 million in veteran contracts. So, I mean, we'll pick up $15 million, and the biggest thing is that we have to look to do is first, before we even think about a trade, is to get off of Evan Fournier's contract. And I mean, because we don't even have to worry about Derrick Rose contract, because after July or something like that, his contract just comes right off the books. And I mean, and if we wanted to sign him back, I'm pretty sure he would take a veteran minimum at $2, $3, $4 million. I think we only got about $5 million on the veteran contract line anyway. So, we will have to come off that contract and move Fournier if we were to think about getting any of these big name players. So that's the first thing that's going to happen. The first thing is to try to move Evan Fournier and go from there and see where we are. I think we got $12 million with Fournier contract coming off. That'll be $18 million. So we're looking at about $30 million. $30 million plus we got I think we got $12 million of some other money and $4 or $5 million in veteran contracts and stuff like that. So I mean, we'll have a little bit of change, but it's about making smart decisions and see what they want to really do.
Yeah, and even with that with 20, that 30 million, probably say that's gonna be 20 million. I would pretty much, like I said, RJ Stitcher kicks in this year, for sure. But if you look at us right now, going into this season, we 168 million. But obviously, you're going to lose. Then we roll 15 million. That takes it down to roughly 43 million, 143 million. If you get that rolled up, if you move Evan Fournier's contract, that gets it down to probably 120 something million. You know what I mean? Then because obviously Josh Hart, if you move Josh Hart contract, that gets it down to like 110 million. But then you got to bring back in these players, obviously the players you need. So I don't think DeQuan Jeffrey's 2 million. I think Isaiah Roby, that might be, we wait and see. They might take it into training camp, see if we make the squad. McBride's there, Sims is there. They're all in a 1 year deal. Sims got another year left, and Quentin Grimes. So I do think that if you get Evan Fournier, I would literally do the Evan Fournier for Buddy Hield straight up, and give them aspiring, at least close to aspiring, same contract Buddy Hield got. Maybe give him a pick, whatever, or something. That might not be a bad swap out, because he definitely gonna pay dividends on that side on for us than Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier getting 18 million, they ain't giving us nothing. But Buddy Hield can give you 43% shoot for downtown and good street those shooters. So that might be an interesting scenario. But the Knicks going to have to move Evan Fournier shot powers. I do not see the New York Knicks bringing Evan Fournier back in the building next year. It just ain't no way.
They can't. I can't. I hate to say it, but they can, because at the trade deadline, it'd be a contract that somebody might want. It'll be rotting the bench from then to now, but in order to try to get a player that we want, and Lyndon Lynn, I looked up Porto. I know who he is. He looks like I forgot I had to mess his name up. What was the guy that was in Brooklyn? Anyway, Yeah, he's a pretty decent player. When he played against us, he plays big time. And if we could get him, Porter, and OG for Mitch and somebody else, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that. You know what I mean? You know, I love Mitch, man, and I think, but if we get a better player, that aside from Grimes, I think he's going to be real hot this year coming in here. I think he's out there shooting. I think he's going to be. If we could get another player that could shoot the basketball, yes, we don't need to worry as much of offensive rebounding. You know what I mean? Because now we will pick up and scoring, and plus our assists would pick up. Because now we're scoring the basketball when we pass it to a player that can hit the shot. So I can understand why Mitchell Robinson is a great offensive rebounder, you know what I mean? But if we're 54 team average, if we're 55% from the field goal percentage, yeah, we don't really need someone that's gonna offensive rebound as much. We could get it from a RJ or another center that's in there, or Randall or something like that. We could get we don't need as many offensive rebounds, but with the team we got right now, we need Mitchell Robinson down there because we miss a lot of shots. We don't assist the ball. We miss a lot of shots, especially from 3-point land.
Yeah. Hey, Mike Lugo, I think the Roby could, like I was saying, I got a feeling Obi Toppin might be the odd man out in New York. And they can let Isaiah Roby come in and have a good preseason because the guy got talent. He might, he's big. Yeah, he might be the backup power forward for the Knicks at $2 million. $2 million.
Big.
So that's why I said whether it happened or not, I think the Obi Toppin situation is gonna be very interesting in New York, man. I'm telling you. Maybe, and like I said, not because of this, maybe he might want to go. Or maybe the Knicks want to sign IQ. They can't give all these cats money. They already, even with everybody got signed now, they had $168 million.
Yep.
You gonna get Josh Hart some money? You either gonna give him Josh Hart. Put like this here: Josh Hart gets Derrick Rose contract.
Facts.
Josh Hart gets Derrick Rose contract. Now, so what that do? You lose the $12 million that Josh Hart would have, the $13 million Josh Hart would have been on the books. That's off because he's taking Derrick Rose contract. So, but then what about now? See that $13 million that Josh Hart got? That's pretty much gone because that's RJ Barrett making $10 more million than he made last year.
Yep.
So now that Josh Hart contract is gone because you gave that to RJ Barrett in the extension. So the $418 million is probably got to be the elephant in the room for the Knicks. They're gonna do it. Yeah. It gotta be Evan Fournier. Because if you trade Evan Fournier, you can get something where you ain't got to take too much money in. Evan Fournier's contract can become Emmanuel Quickly's contract. That's where. And I got a feeling, how the hell we gonna pay Obi? Let's we go over the luxury. And then you got Quentin Grimes coming up the next year. That's gonna be. So we're gonna have to see how they will and deal. We're gonna see what Leon Rose, Brock Allen, all these guys. We're gonna see what they're gonna see what they're made of. See what they made of, man. They gotta finagle this thing because but they like I said, the Bride contract this last year for that $1.8 million. Do the Knicks? I don't know. He might be in a trade package because I don't. They're gonna pay him next year. It's gonna be interesting, man. Shot power, Jericho Sims. We forget about guys like that, man. How long he got $2 million next year? Do the Knicks think they're gonna get? He gonna develop it to the something, or so when Harkenstein money come out the books next year? See, Harkenstein, this is last year. So Harkenstein $8 million, $9 million come out the book this year. At least you got Jericho Sims next year with a $2 million deal. Or are you going to re-sign Harkenstein? I don't think so. I don't think he's nice, but I don't think they're going to re-sign him for a certain amount of money. So they got their hands full, man. They really do, Chop Out. We try to put out all scenario for them, but they got a lot of will and dealing to do, New York, man. They got a lot of people coming up for money. Like I said, the biggest one to me is Obi Toppin. He makes $6.8 million this year.
His signing thing is $10 million.
Yep.
And salute Felicia, because I kind of feel the same way. And I've been talking about Alec Burks coming back here. That mean to put him back in that second unit. So, so I'm not even going to I said that either Alec Burks or Doug McDermott. So
yeah, because if you lose quickly, then you bring back Alec Burks. That'd be especially if you lose Emmanuel quickly. If you lose quickly, that's a good replacement right there. Veteran, what he do, you know what I mean? And got experience, familiar with the system. I like Alex Burks, man. If you lose Obi Toppin, you still bringing Alex Burks because you got, and hopefully Isaiah Roby could back up. But whatever the Knicks do, they got a lot of decisions to make. But I do think they're gonna find a way to they got a lot of good ways to go about it. They do, man. Like I said, Evan Fournier, Mitchell Robinson in one deal, with some picks, or you can go Obi Toppin with Mitchell Robinson if you had to. You can go Obi Toppin with Evan Fournier. Them would be the three guys that I think. Evan Fournier and Obi Toppin to me might be the next two out. I think they'd be the next two.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you look at those two guys, that's $28 million. And I'm not sleeping on Portal. I think he's a good player, man. I remember him playing us. He plays hard. I can't remember the guy's name. The guy that won the dunk contest about 10 years ago that was on Brooklyn, and he moved, but he looks just like him, just a bigger version. Oh, my God. I can't remember his name right now. The one that jumped over the Kia car. What's his name? Griffin, yeah. Porter looks like a long version of Griffin. Yeah. Porter looks like him, so yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to him. I wouldn't be opposed, and he can score and he can defend, and backing him up would be a Hardenstein. So I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah.
I mean, but the elephants in the room is Obi Toppin, IQ, moving this guy Evan Fournier's contract. excuse me, and maybe Mitchell Robinson. IQ and Mitch, Obi and Mitch, IQ and Obi somewhere. All those guys can bring us something. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I really think they're going to look at trying to bring Burks back here too.
Yeah. Because for me, I think Mitch is just the injuries, man. I love my guy, man. That's my guy, man. I love the 36th pick coming out the draft, second round player. It's just that 59 games is not. Could definitely. Can imagine the game if he would have played this year. You know what I mean? Shot Powell, like if Mitch would have played 75 games, Knicks probably would have won 50-some games just because of what he could do on the defense side of the ball. Blah blah blah. But I do think that I think the concern is the injuries. I think that's probably what the Knicks front office will look at. It's just like we need.
Yeah, that's going to be big part of what they're talking about. 50 less than 60 games he played this year. Yeah, it's going to be big.
It's going to be big. Yeah. So it's going to be for Melissa. Here you go. Like my man said, Mike Luke. We said my man say the best ability is availability, and that's Randall. But that's the opposite for Mitch. They said available like he need to be. And his body shot power is almost like a Anthony Davis body. You know what I mean? I think I guess your body just a fragile type of body to a sense. You know what I mean? That happened to all of us. It's just some things our body can't take. And I just think them guys, man, Mitchell Robinson and Anthony Davis, they go through that, man. And it's a shame because and that, like Mike, like you said, that's the only quagmire with him is this. But see, that's the quagmire with all of them. And like I said, it's a lot of them don't play them games, man. It ain't only Mitch, but it's a lot of guys out there. Joel Embiid wasn't playing like that a lot over the years. Look at his years. He was playing in the league. How many years he had to not play almost 50, 60 games or whatever. In the last couple of years, Joel Embiid been pretty good, but that's another big risk because he was out this year with almost going into the playoffs. He missed the playoffs a couple of games anyway. So it's just tough, man. That's what scared me about the Embiid them and the Cats them with the big contracts because that you talk about you tying up almost 100-something million because of a player's injured, or you might get ready to go into the playoffs and he can't play, and and that's just a tough pill to swallow, man. And I think a lot of GMs take that into consideration, even though they don't get me wrong, they bringing in the tickets too. Don't get me wrong, because one thing about Joel Embiid, he bringing the tickets in. You know what I mean? He bringing them tickets in there. His jersey selling. He bringing people in the stands. So they say, well, you know what? It's really money over everything. But if you're a team that's wanting to win a championship, you got to have guys who's available. And I think that's what the quagmire with a lot of these guys is that they're available. I think for Mitchell Robinson, if Mitchell Robinson was a little bit more healthier, Mitch probably would have killed it in the playoff, but he wasn't himself. Shot power. I was like, man, you ain't getting up blocks of shots. Look at that series against Miami. he wasn't leaving his feet for nothing. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man, they're like, Bam on the bio, you 7 foot something, and you normally Mitch play that dude real good too.
Yep.
He didn't play him good in the playoff because I think he was injured. So that's the problem with Mitch. Is that other than that, I had too much about it. But listen, man, we're gonna get out of here. We done did a marathon. It's all good. Thank y'all for coming in tonight, man. Real talk, man. We appreciate it. Y'all just look for the notification, man. Y'all know we throw it out there. We get into the next day, maybe this weekend we'll figure something out. But I like the trade show. It was good, Shop Howard, and we move on to the next one.
Yeah, on to the next one, man. We'll have some things out there, and just to the people, ladies and gentlemen in the chat. This is all hoopla. We just throwing stuff out there to see if it sticks, because what we're talking about right now, the Knicks already got a plan, and me, as much as I like, there's a couple. I like Siakam. I like OG. I like KP a lot, but I don't know if we make any of those trades. I think what the Knicks are probably going to do is make those smaller trades to tweak. And I think if it's a big trade made, it's going to be either RJ or Randall. But the smaller trades, you're going to look for Obi Toppin and IQ. And with those two players that we're talking about, IQ and Obi, they could get some good pieces back here for those guys. So I think we're because I don't think Dolan cares about going into the luxury tax, because remember when we was just at the Garden, that Wednesday, you know what I mean? He ain't worried about them. It's like a bottle of water over there is like $8. He ain't worried about the luxury tax. He ain't worried about that. Hot dogs is like $17 over there if you ain't got a Chase card. So I'm just saying, I don't think he worried about too much about luxury, because the Knicks fans come out if we're winning or losing. But when we're winning, it's extra. So, but I hope that we do make a trade to the starting unit, and I'm not opposed of seeing anybody move aside from Brunson. I know he's not going nowhere, but if RJ has to go, if Randall has to go, if Mitch has to go, if Grimes, I don't want really Grimes to go, but if Grimes got to go, so be it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real talk, man. Listen, man, we're gonna get it popping, and we'll see y'all later on the week. But I'm good with it. I know they're gonna do the right thing. I know Nick will make the right decision. I trust and believe in what they're doing, man. We had a good year this year. We got to the second round of the playoffs. You can't sleep on that, man. We were a couple of good games away from being right where they at tonight. You know what I mean? So you can't be mad at that. But I just know this regime now, and I know they how it is sometimes. Shop out when you're so close. When you get that close, you can't back away. You that close. You can't go the other way. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I think the Knicks going to do something. How major, I don't know. But I do believe that they so close, because they looking at that series to get Miami in right now saying, you know what? Damn, we supposed to be right there. That's what the whole organization probably saying. We should be right playing in that game tonight. And I think they got that in their mindset. And they know we just tweak a couple of things here and there. And get a couple of players here and there. They might not be major or not, but we got to fill a couple of voids because we're going to lose some players. So I think they're out there doing their homework, man. They do their due diligence. They get in there and do what they got to do. So we'll see how it goes, man. But salute to the chat, everybody. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you cats probably this weekend, man. We come up with another, create some more content for us to get into and all that good stuff, man. But until then, man, y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to your weekday, man. Looking forward to the weekend. And we'll see you cats. Y'all be safe out there, man. Y'all know what it is. Hit the like and subscribe going out the door, man. Say a little more. Divine Shaw, the chat. Knicks Real Talk, man. We out, guys, man. Peace.
Let's get it.
Get it. Time for Divine Shot, KJ events. This Real Talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena. Look at click, that's a conglomerate. Nick's Real Talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variants, I'm dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, be straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the facade. My entourage, be on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in 10 books. As they cook my game plan, let my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that's the things we ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We trace the logo with the space that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, looking at Knicks City drip. Infinity decks on the court, looking pretty legit. I say true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine on Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.